he stole my thunder, and that makes him a great caller. Because I was going to say is, everything we're seeing in Minneapolis is predicated on, or is enabled by, the sanctuary laws that that they live under in Minneapolis, and one of the tenets of that sanctuary law in just about every city and municipality where they exist, here in New York, where I live in Westchester County in New York, the locals, 9 times out of 10, the locals are the ones who provide support. They do crowd control, they establish a perimeter, they put up the blockades to keep people away, they set up a temporary thing, they let the men and women of federal law enforcement do their thing, keep everybody at arm's length, and move on. So think about it. If Jacob Fry really wanted to keep people safe, if Jacob Fry really didn't want hurt people, let alone dead people, then Jacob Fry would have been out there specifically saying, stay away, protest, but stay back. Protest, make your voice heard, hold the prepared signs from the billionaire activists who are providing all the signage for you. Hold up those manufactured signs. Get in the cameras. Go find the press and the media. Do that. But please, stay out of the way of don't get between law enforcement and their target. That's bad. What a dereliction of duty. How do they not do that? How do they not do that? Because they want the dead people. Get it? Because they want the injuries. Because they want a family coming home from a kid's basketball game to get tear gas in their faces. They want that. Do you know how happy they were when they found out that was a black family, a black family of 5? That had to just send them. They ordered an extra pizza that night. They celebrated. Telling you. I'm telling you. I've been in politics. I've been in the back rooms. I've been in the conversations. And there are some craven lunatics in politics, in elected officials, in government. In elected officials, God, in government. 1-800-848-9222. So yeah, so the sanctuary policies keep the local PD out of it. There is no crowd control. There is no support. They're not to help these guys go and collar their fugitives. They're not to do that. They're not to go and deliver writs and put cuffs on dudes and bring them out to the ice. No! Stand a block away and keep everybody safe. Jacob Fry will not have that. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And it is cold. And Pete in Staten Island, how you doing out there, Pete? You staying somewhat safe and warm?
Oh, yeah, we're staying safe and warm, and we ain't going out of the house. I did all the shopping and everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be drinking my hot chocolate and eating my potato chips and, I don't know, watch some old movies.
Yeah.
Springsteen's song is totally like chalk on a blackboard.
Isn't that bad?
I loved years ago when he did The Streets of Philadelphia, and basically he was trying to copy that, but he sounded like he was constipated. I mean, I would send him some stool softener. It was brutal. But, these people, I they want to get in the spotlight, and they think by taking these causes on, like Frank Sinatra always said,
Yeah,
when
Springsteen's pretty
politics,
pathetic now.
you're going to have
It's sad to
half
see
the
Bruce
people against you, and you're going to have half the people for you. Why just stay
I
out
liked
like
him back in the
Johnny
80s, but
Carson?
he's a
Right.
fucking
Nobody knew
joke
what
now.
Johnny Carson's politics was.
Right.
So I don't get it. These people are sick. I mean, I heard Jesse the Body Ventura, who called one of my matches in 1981 when I was Black Demon in Boston, and I'm hearing him, and he's knocking Trump. I mean, Jesse doesn't get it. I mean, Trump is what's keeping us. He has gotten people to come to the table that you couldn't get to a table.
Trump has been at every turn the adult in the room. Trump has been the adult in the room. Trump is the one who said, we had a good conversation. They had a chat with Walton. He said, it was a good conversation. We're on the same page. We don't want people dying. We don't want all of this angst. I think we can come to an agreement and move forward. Trump has been the adult in the room, and it's driving them nuts. And it's driving them nuts that Trump has been the adult in the room. And thank you, Pete.
Exactly.
And that, by the way,
I love my man.
this whole concept of Fridays being quiet news days, that is such a thing of the past. Oh my goodness gracious. The Epstein files that dropped. Anybody? How bad? How bad? Did you see the images of the former Prince Andrew? Did you see the images of the former Prince Andrew? Andrew Windsor Mountbatten. That's bad. That's tough. That's tough. 1-800-848-9222. We go to Nat in the Bronx. Good morning, Nat.
Regarding the protests
Yes.
in Minnesota,
Yes, sir.
two things. Number one, what are they protesting? They're protesting the federal government utilizing legitimate police authority in the form of ICE
Yes.
to deport people who are in the country illegally, whether or not they committed additional crimes while they're here. They have no business being here.
Yes.
They've broken our laws by being in the country illegally. That in and of itself justifies their apprehension and deportation out of the country.
Yes, sir.
The fact that many of them have committed violent offenses in addition to being here illegally simply accentuates that fact.
Yes.
All the more that they have every legal justification to apprehend, arrest, and deport these people. Number two,
Yes.
the white liberals, and they're overwhelmingly white liberal women for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You see at these protests.
Yep.
These white liberals are the epitome of hypocrisy.
Yes.
Why? Because they shout that it's unjust to apprehend these illegals and deport them out of the country when they have no business being here. But at the same time, they want nothing to do with these illegals socially and economically. They don't want the economic burden placed on them. They don't want their neighborhoods destroyed by them. They don't want their school systems inundated with them.
Right.
White liberals do everything they can to insulate themselves from the consequences
NIMBY. Yep.
of multiculturalism that everyone else has to deal with.
Yep. Build them housing, but not in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it's the white working and middle class that has to bear the brunt of illegal immigration, both with their taxes and with their downward spiral of their standard of living.
Yeah,
They're the ones who deal with the consequences.
I was like, I'm going to stay up for a while. And he's been on a roll, so you know what? I'm going to let it roll tonight.
Yep, they don't have to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it. But at the same time, they want a virtue signal.
More B-roll for me.
And saying how racist it is to deport a bunch of illegal criminals that shouldn't be in the country in the first place.
You know me, bro. I like to scream, bro. I let it roll, bro.
That's it. That we can circle
I'm gonna
back
let it roll until the battery
to what I
dies
was
out
saying
tonight.
about how
That's
they
it.
are being used by
It's like
elected
80,
officials like Fry and Waltz,
89%
because
charge.
I remember,
And I got it plugged in, so it's
I
gonna roll.
remember
It's gonna roll.
the first day after Renee Good was shot, when the first protest broke out the next morning, they were
shot. You saw it. It was
so
sometimes this guy is
it was so
on
heavy-handed
fire.
how they did this.
And I like that.
They kept all the men protesters back. They sent women towards the ICE agents that they were protesting. And it was women who they put up there. We basically put them in harm's way. They purposely encouraged women, white liberal women protesters, to go up to the front lines, get ready to take the tear gas in the face, a rubber bullet in the neck, something like that. Or be, it was, they're disgusting. The left is just, at the ends, Nat, they justify everything. They don't care. They really don't care about anything. Don't forget, too, all of this is theater to keep us from talking about the $1 billion child care scandal that already took down one career in Waltz.
There you go.
And that's now been 24 days that we have not been talking about that scandal.
And you have to wonder. It's not just Minnesota. This is just to be one community where it happened to be exposed.
Yes.
But do you think that the Somalis are the only community that's taking advantage of American taxpayers, siphoning off billions of dollars worth of social services tax dollars to their home countries and engaging in organized crime?
After hours with Dan.
The only ones, of course.
Dan Radio Tech.
No. And there's rumbling.
After Hours Club.
Go ahead, Nat. Go ahead.
Yeah, you really have to wonder how far the rabbit hole goes. And, again, the longer these protests go on, it is a distraction. It's a distraction from the fact that every other country on the planet, whether you're in India, India's for the Indians. Whether you're in Pakistan, Pakistan's for the Pakistanis. Whether you're in Somalia, Somalia's for the Somalis. But if white Americans say that again, this is our country. We built this country. We sustain it with our tax dollars, with our ingenuity and our technology. Without us, there'd be no country. And to oppose the fact that they're being steadily replaced by people who have no vested interest in this country other than to denude it of its resources, take advantage of its taxpayers, take advantage of its tax base, and contribute nothing. Parasites. And again, to be opposed to that, you're a racist.
Yeah, boom. Boom. Exactly. Wow.
Boom, there you go.
Coming to a talk station near you. Nat, thank you so much for that brilliant call. That was phenomenal. My God. Great call. Jeez. All right, I got to take a break. Especially after that call. I was sitting here writing copious notes so I can be a better radio host based on Nat's comments. It was really well done, brother. Thank you. When we come back, we got Bill, we got Pete, we got Dr. Anthony, we got Fran, everybody, and you, 1-800-848-9222. It's me, TJ, on Another Side of Midnight, and we shall return.
It's Another Side of Midnight.
Here you go, TJ McCormick. Oh, he's on fire tonight. That's why since I put him on, I was like, he's on fire. I was like, oh man, I got to go live with this guy. He's on fire tonight. That's what I like. I like when he's on fire. He grew on me though. At first I was like, but he grew on me. He grew on me over the holidays. So hey, that's good. You gotta allow. Listen, I was wrong about the guy. He grew on me. I like him. I like T.J. McCormick now. I listen to him. I like him. So I said, he's on fire tonight. I got to go live again. I said, I was going to go on live on TikTok right now, but I was like, you know what? I got a better audience on YouTube. I said, you know what? I'm going to come on YouTube. Hey, right after that 4 hour and a half, I'm going to do another 3 or 4 hours on this one tonight. That's it, bro. I'm going to be 7 hours. By the time I wake up this morning, I'm going to have 7, 8 hours under my belt. Booyah. There you go.
Wednesday was this week, a day.
Hey, listen, you got to strike the iron where it's hot. Get 300 here, 400 there. 500 here, and you start rolling. That's what I need to do. I need to start rolling. It's like a well-oiled machine, baby. You gotta keep lubing them gears, and you gotta keep grinding. Whoop, 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 whoop. You gotta keep grinding them gears, baby. That's it. You gotta work the algorithm, baby. You gotta be. I'm recommending. Recommend me right now, cause nobody's on right now. Nobody's on right now. So you know what? The YouTube algorithm is gonna recommend me, and people are gonna come in here, and I'll probably get another couple of hundred, a few hundred, whatever it is. By the time it's all said and done, I'm good to go for the rest of the day. Bammo. That's it. We gotta strike the iron while it's hot, baby. Like a hot skillet. There you go.
Another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, here's TJ McCormack.
Ain't no holds barred now, baby.
It is so cold, I wish I had a fire in the studio. One thing that says that I would never lose. From you and I was born from grace. And then we'll wipe the smile right from my face. Again, not the most intellectually challenging lyrics. The dance, boom, boom, cha. And incidents arose from circumstance. It is so cold. Boom, boom, cha. I am so done. Right, dudes? This has just been one big fat advert. First of all, it's another chubby loving weekend.
The heat of the
Don't be
moment.
wasting your time with no skinny lovers. You got to get yourself a big fat chubby lover. Cuddle up nice. Just curl up in a roll of fat. 1-800-848-9222. It's a chubby lover weekend. 1-800-848-9222. And, of course, we're talking about Minneapolis, talking about, and like I said, we'll eventually get there, but, you know, and again, you guys can call about whatever you want, but, these Epstein files, once again, now, the Trump popped up in the latest dump, and the world went aflutter, and then it kind of went because the Trump references in this new 40 billion pages or whatever of Epstein files were allegations that were made, and correct me if I'm wrong, gang, and then dropped because they just didn't pursue it. I don't think it wasn't even like it was settled. It wasn't settled. They just stopped. They didn't pursue it. They didn't. The accuser or the whistleblower or whatever. I don't even know if it's an accuser. I don't know. But whoever it was that made the allegation eventually didn't show up for an interview, and it just went away. So, you know, sorry. Whereas the former Prince Andrew, Windsor Mountbatten, that's bad. You guys go, if you haven't seen it, go take a look on Google. Prince Andrew's got to be trending on Twitter. Go take a look at the photos. This photo with the redacted face is, in my mind, 1,000 times worse than the Virginia Dufresne photograph. 1,000 billion times worse. Somebody better keep an eye on Andrew over there in the UK. Keep an eye on him, because he might pull an Epstein. This guy is done. He is so toast. 1-800-848-9222 and Dr. Anthony. Hey, Kesrich.
Hey, my man. Who's your biggest fan?
The the lovely. Hold on, wait. I'm having a senior moment. I was going to say Denise, but it's not Denise. Melissa.
You got it.
Yes, I'm sorry. Ooh,
10 points. 10
Thank
points.
you. Thank you. Yes, the lovely Melissa. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Fine, thank you. We just came back from Tampa, Florida.
Oh,
We're 38, 39 degrees.
oh,
Man.
all right.
Below 40 in
Before we had
Tampa.
the
Wow.
trees.
Oh, that's right. They do that, don't they?
Wow.
That's creepy when that happens. I remember that used to happen. Yeah. So, what do you think about? I was looking forward to getting to this, and I'm glad that you're giving me the pivot to Don Lemon. What's your thoughts on Lemon there, Doc?
Well, he was arrested on January 29th, as you know, in Los Angeles, while covering the Grammy Awards. But what he's involved was, prior to this, on January 18th, he was involved in an incident where he actually invaded a church service at St. Paul, Minnesota, him and other protesters, and it was a conspiracy against the pastor who happened to be also connected to ICE agents. So in either way, the man needs to be tried, because everybody deserves a trial. He needs to go to jail, because without a doubt, press credentials does not allow you the freedom to actually break up a church service.
Nope.
He conspired. He conspired with other protesters to break up that affair. And children in that church were fearing for their parents' lives.
Yeah, if he oh God, I can only imagine the fear rocketing through those worshipers in the middle of all that tumult and fear and unrest in that city. And and again, if he wanted to play it smart and safe and actually show respect, he could have it was bad enough that he knew that it was going to go down, and it was bad enough that he was outside getting them all ginned up, ready to go inside. And he kept saying, if you notice his voiceover, he keeps repeating, "Now, I'm not one of the protesters. I'm just here covering this." He kept saying that verbally. I mean, how many times do you have to say that? He knew exactly what he was trying to stay out of. He could have just stayed outside the church, Doc. He could have stayed outside and waited for this thing to end and then spoken to people after the service.
He's a bad dude.
He is a bad man. He is a vile man looking for a rebound for his career. Isn't that amazing, by the way, Doc?
Exactly.
All these leftists using other people and putting other people in harm's way for their own good.
Bro.
Fry and Walls using people as pawns to distract from their own billion-dollar scandals. And the same thing, Don Lemon putting people in fear and panic, so that he can get some oxygen into his still life of a career. It's shameful.
In addition, where do these stars, these movie stars, these singers get off giving their own personal and political opinion? We go to their concerts, we listen and buy their records only because of what we like to hear. I don't want to hear Bruce Springsteen telling us his political leftist nonsense. I want real talent. When the King was interviewed in the 1970s, Elvis, the microphone was put in his face, and it was issues like the Vietnam War, which was the biggest topic in the day. He would say, "I'm only an entertainer. I don't get involved in politics." Why doesn't Taylor and Gaga and Madonna do the same? Why do they have to give their personal opinion?
Because you know what, man, they don't have an ounce of the talent or integrity or the upbringing that Elvis had. He came from a different generation. I got to jump there, Dr. Anthony. My best to the beautiful Melissa. Thank you, Pally. And when we come back, we'll talk to Bill, Pete, John, Jacqueline, and all y'all.
Oh, Jacqueline.
1-800-848-9222. We'll talk about the Epstein files.
Jacqueline. You know how much I love Jacqueline. She has a beautiful voice. Jacqueline, is that Jacqueline from Brooklyn? Jacqueline from Brooklyn. Oh my God, oh God, she has an amazing voice. Just gonna say it like that. Excuse me. Send Lemon back to Denmark. I don't know when he's not from there. He's a African American you know Gaylord, CNN Gaylord, and he had a stupid little show. Of course, he's racist. Of course, he's been on a couple of New York, New York, yeah, Times Square, Times Square. New York, New Year's Eve, Times Square stuff. Where he was lit up, drunk out of his ass, talking shit. He's just a piece of shit. He's just trying to be relevant since CNN fired him because, they fired him because of ratings. Ratings suck. You know how fucking these people are. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. People don't like it. A bunch of drama queens. So he's just trying to. You understand? He's posing as a journalist. But the problem with these so-called journalists today, they just, instead of reporting the news, they want to be a part of the news. That's what it is. And that's what he's doing. He wants to be a part of the news. So now, of course, all this talk about him is making him, like they say, ain't no bad publicity when people talk about you, no matter what. And that's what's happening. People talking about him, and it's giving him an airtime. That's it. To be relevant for his social media or his stupid blog or whatever the fuck it is. That's all it is. And maybe somebody's going to hire him back on network TV. And maybe he'll get a few interviews. And that's it. That's all it is.
Canadian comedic actor and SCTV alumni who starred as Macaulay.
Oh, by the way, she passed away. Catherine O'Hara. Oh, my. We were just talking about her a couple of weeks ago.
Ditzy character of Moira Rose in the Emmy-winning comedy Schitt's Creek died on Friday. O'Hara died at her home in Los Angeles following a brief illness. She was 71. Path service is going to be partial.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara. Oh, my God. Remember her? SCTV alumni. Of course, Beetlejuice. Oh, she was one of the first. She was like one of the first women. And, SCTV that I had a little attraction to. I had a little, she was always attractive. Yeah, I know. She passed away. Oh my God. Catherine O'Hara. Oh my God. You know me. I remember back in her days, bro. I had a crush. I had a little crush on her. She's funny and all that. Home Alone. Yeah, Home Alone. Beetlejuice.
Penalties and restitution to their workers for violating New York City's minimum wage law under a settlement.
Yeah, correct. He wants to be part of the news. That's all it is. A lot of these so-called journalists, they don't want to report. They want to be part of the news. It's not about reporting objectively down the middle. They want to be part of the news. They want to be either, I'm going to speak out for the left, and I'm going to be all in there, and that's what it is. And that's what he does. There's no more journalism. A lot of these people now are just, they want to be part of the news. That's it.
Dealt with a bird flu outbreak early last year. It forced the culling of 100,000 ducks at one farm. Animal lovers are warning Long Islanders not to feed the birds in Heckscher Park.
Yeah, Home Alone.
When you feed ducks and geese, they all come together and then you throw the food down.
She passed away.
So they're spreading the virus.
Noam Layden, WABC News.
In sports, the NFL set to raise the 2026 salary cap to more than $300 million. The league informed all 32 teams the increase is at least $20 million from the current cap, representing one of the largest year-to-year gains on record. Officials say a final number still being finalized, with a max of just under $306 million.
Wow.
Your forecast overnight clear, but bitterly cold.
I really
The low
love
down
her.
to 8. Later today, a mix of sun and clouds, the high up to 20.
I always had to
And
think
for
of her. I don't
Sunday,
know
cloudy,
why.
windy. We could see a light
Of course, because
dusting,
she's
but the
funny
storm will
and
miss us.
she's...
The high 24. Clear skies right
She
now.
was always
I'm Lisa
okay, you know.
Ritchie. Remember, the
She
news
kept
never
it together
stops at
for a lot of years.
WABCRadio.com.
Like I say, that's just me. You know, hey.
Coming up at 5 a.m. on the 77 WABC News Hour, Weekend Edition. Talk in the News with Lizzie Rodabali.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul says local cops will not help out ICE agents.
I don't like the way they're doing their job, but don't expect our local law enforcement to team up with them because we have other responsibilities.
That story and many more headlines at 5.
God bless.
77 WABC News Hour, Weekend Edition with Lizzie Radavali. Weekend mornings at 5. 77 WABC. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's a WABC special presentation. Governor Andrew Cuomo is taking the pulse of the people, taking your calls. 800-848-9222. ICE in Minnesota, Iran. What to expect from Mayor Mondani and the state of New York politics.
When the pressure is on, is when you really get to see true colors and see what they're made of.
It's a WABC special presentation. Governor Andrew Cuomo taking the pulse of the people, taking your calls. 800-848-9222 on WABC.
Can we stop that with the phone calls? Andrew Cuomo, please. Can we stop plugging this guy in? He already lost the fucking election. Why are they still promoting this guy? You know? Yeah, I understand Curtis Lewa, the whole thing, whatever. Why are they still plugging this fucking guy in WABC? Are they going to give him a talk show eventually? I mean, come on, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Just stop it already. Same thing with Melissa DeRosa. Why do they keep inviting this fucking cunt, cock-sucking Cuomo? You know, that's another one. They keep inviting Melissa DeRosa. All she did was ride Cuomo's dick. That's all she did. I'm sorry, I'm going to say. I don't care. It's not a family show here. She just rode the nigga's dick. Sorry, I'm going to say it. I don't care. Sorry. She rode his fucking dick during the pandemic. There you go. Why did they give these people a hard time? Didn't they kill enough people? Holy shit, bro. The fuck is wrong with this fucking station already? Holy motherfucking shit. Sorry, it just blew a fucking gasket right there. It's called fucking entertainment. Booyah!
Good morning once again. Hour 2 begins for another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormick. It is 7 minutes past the hour, broadcasting live from our Midtown Manhattan studios. It is freezing.
Yeah, I don't get it. Exactly, I don't get it. I don't
generally
fucking get it.
cold all across
I don't know what they're
the
trying to
United
prove.
States. It's below average pretty much everywhere. I was watching the Los Angeles news earlier in the week, and I mean,
they jumped on the bandwagon.
Might get back
They
up
jumped on
into
the bandwagon.
into the 80s.
So he could be in Mandami. I get it, bro. I fucking get it. They jumped on his bandwagon to be Mandami. I get it. But why are they still promoting this fucking guy? I mean, come on, seriously. You know, if it wasn't for shows like this, I would have been done with this station. And Dr. Sky. Because I'm done. I'm done with every other fucking host right now. Pretty much. If it wasn't for Dr. Sky and this guy right now, but this guy, believe it or not, right now, and Lionel. And that's it. I think I'm done with the rest of the fucking shit. And the music.
hope that it would
Holy
sort of
shit,
wither
bro.
away over the 3 days until Monday. Now it's like, Trump good news,
Come on,
Trump
man.
good news, Trump good news. Although today was, ish. I mean, now look, he made a big showing with his
Oh my God.
recovery
Yeah,
initiative.
cheers, bro. Cheers. Yeah,
I
cheers.
think it's the Great American Recovery Initiative. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Holy moly, bro.
That's headed up by RFK, Mr. Maha, a recovering heroin and other types of addict, and Catherine Burgum. He was at former First Lady of North Dakota.
Yeah, I know.
By her own description, was a blackout drunk. God bless her. And so we're getting healthy and we're getting into recovery.
Yeah, the only reason why I like her because I liked her for a long time. But yeah, she is. Of course she's. You know what the joke is? That she's under the table when John Catsimatidis is on the air. There you go. That's the joke. That's the post that I see on Facebook. They said, "Where's Rita? She's under the table where John is sitting at." There you go. Wah, 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 wah.
Put in jail.
Yeah, Hawk 2 spin on that thing. Here you go.
It's nuts.
Oh my God.
But
hey, Hawk 2,
former Prince Andrew,
spin on that thing.
take a look at those photos.
The original Hawk 2.
He's on the ground. He's on the floor. This is bad. This one's bad.
Margot
Now,
is no match for
now
her.
it's Andrew. It's
Yeah,
Prince Andrew kneeling on the floor.
Let me. You know what? I second that, James Farley. She could be under my table any fucking day of the week. Cause you better believe that. I don't want to get. I don't want to get in trouble tonight, but yeah, I still think Rita got something going on. She a little porky, but you know what? She's still. And the raspy voice, she takes me to another level with the raspy voice. I could only imagine, just she like wailing and moaning on that raspy voice. I'll be like, here we go.
Victim. Or whatever, the person in the photo.
Eyeballs rolling back like a slot machine.
And there's other people in the room. There's like a coffee table.
Same here, bro. Oh, yeah. Same here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Watching a game or something.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Andrew on the floor with his arms over.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's
Let
propping
this
himself
thing
up
go
like he's
viral.
doing,
Oh,
like, push-ups,
yeah.
right? And he's
Yeah,
over,
Bondi.
he's
Oh,
positioned over a
yeah.
young woman with the face redacted. And
Eyes
they say
rolling
that
back
she's
like a slot
conscious.
machine.
Just for context.
There you
That
go.
she's not knocked out or doped up or drunk and passed out, whatever. She's conscious. Okay, that's good. Holy goodness gracious, I'm telling you what, gang. This is damning. This is so
You're in my mind, bro. From day one, bro, I was like
and
that.
forget any sweat on the brow with the BBC and
But I really want to see some
denials
arrests, though.
and forget that, look, that picture of him in Virginia Giuffre, the late Virginia Giuffre. You know what? It was so oddly, the composition was so weird. You can see why somebody desperate enough came around to say, that's doctored.
Yeah.
That's like a 90s version of a doctored photo.
I'm going to be 60 and I ain't dead either, bro.
This is bad. This is I mean, he already doesn't have a career, but this is
What is it?
career.
What is it?
This is it. This is it. This is it.
What is
He's
it?
done.
When you go to those websites, I mean, not website. When you go to those videos, hey, Men of Culture, we meet again. That's us. Men of Culture, baby, we meet again, bro. That's me, bro. That's you, bro. We Men of Culture, we meet again.
That's you that are from stuff like zippity doo dah. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And let's go to Bill in Brooklyn. Good morning, Bill. In Bay Ridge.
Good morning, TJ. How you doing, my brother?
Yo, let me tell you, I'm gonna go a step further. Here we go. Here we go. You know. Let me say something. You know, Nicki Minaj. I always liked Nicki Minaj. Her music, I'm into rap and all that. Some of her music is, I like some of her music from way back then. But now that she's, pimping Trump, she on MAGA now. And let me tell you, I see Nicki. I got her on Instagram. I follow Nicki Minaj. And let me tell you something. Oh my God, bro. This woman is, she's well built, bro. This woman is well built. I got to think about Nicki Minaj. And let me tell you something. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. Woo! Oh, yeah, baby. You better believe, bro. I saw that. There's pictures of her, bro. She posts, even on Instagram, she posts nothing on. My God, bro. That's a coffee table behind that, bro. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro. When I first saw that, when I first saw that body, I said, oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ. It's funny. Oh yeah, you say Sarah Palin. Oh yeah, I still, bro. That's a fantasy. That's the librarian fantasy right there, bro. Library. You go to the library. You wasn't quiet. I'm gonna take you to detention. And then she teaches me a lesson, bro. James Farley, whatever happened to Monica Lewinsky? Yeah. I know. Yeah, she's whatever. But who cares about her? But yeah, Sarah Palin. Oh my God, I was stuff from day one. From day one, Sarah Palin always fucking my motherfucking radar, bro. That's Jesus Christ, bro. And she's still she's dating a hockey player now. What's his name? She's dating Ron Duguay. You ever heard of Ron Duguay? Remember back in the days, New York Rangers? Remember when hockey players didn't wear helmets? Remember Ron Duguay? He was the guy with the long hair, skating on the ice of the New York Rangers. That's who she's dating now, Ron Duguay. He's like old school New York Rangers. This is like 1980s. I think late 70s, 1980. I don't know if it's 70s. Definitely 1980s. Ron Duguay. Yeah. He that's when old school hockey players didn't wear helmets. They were allowed to. And he was one of them. He had the long hair. Ron Duguay. That's who she's dating now. Ron Duguay. New York Rangers. Yeah, Ron Duguay. And he still look good though. You know what I'm saying? No homo here. The man still look good for his age. He's fit. Ron Duguay. That's who she's dating now. Ron Duguay.
In the files, Epstein said stuff, was talking about Bill Gates.
He's a New York Rangers
had like caught STDs
legend.
from Russian hookers.
Oh no, yeah, of course he didn't win the Stanley Cup because that was before Messi and all that.
Well,
But
his wife left him. He's freaky deaky.
he was a very popular Ranger.
They're closet freaks.
Yeah, it says here.
He even made commercials.
Bill Gates caught STD.
I think I remember back in the days. I think he made a Jordache commercial. You know, Jordache jeans. Was it Jordache or Sergio Valente? Ron Duguay.
Like I said, they're just trying to nail Trump with something, and they have nothing, and they can't let it go. Trump, the reign syndrome is bad. It's bad.
It is, Bill.
Ron Duguay.
It is, Bill. Thank you, Pally. Thanks for calling up. Always good to hear from you.
Same here, but man.
Bye, Pally. Stay warm. Stay warm. Keep the cannolis warm.
Yeah, you just look up Sarah Palin's boyfriend.
I'm sure you do. Bye, Bill.
He played for the Rangers. He supported the Rangers.
I'm going to take our break on time this hour, so I'm going to do that. When we come back, we got Pete, John, Silas, and Jacqueline all ready to go. We will get right to you when we come back.
That's our man. That's Sarah Palin's man right now.
Stay right there.
Hockey legend.
Another side of midnight.
So he tapping that, boy.
You know, I thought my dogs, Mimi and Pee-wee 2.0, were just getting old, losing that spark. But a few weeks ago, after adding...
He tapping now while she looking at Alaska. Here you go.
Totally changed the game. Rough Greens isn't some...
He tapping now while she looking over into Russia from Alaska.
Right on their food. No need to switch.
You got that view.
Just add it in. It's packed with probiotics, vitamins, omega oils, stuff that helps their joints, their digestion, and even their immune support. Why does it work? Because dog food is dead food. It's been cooked and processed
Slap
until
shot.
all the good stuff is gone. Rough Greens brings
He
back
slap
the
shot.
nutrition our pets really need. I don't just recommend Rough Greens. I depend on it to keep my dogs both happy and healthy. Right now, Rough Greens is offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover the cost of shipping. Go to roughgreens.com and use promo code STONE. That's roughgreens.com, promo code STONE.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right, bro. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. She banging Trudeau. Oh, yeah, that's right. The astronaut. She an astronaut. Yo. Katy Perry, I know, right? Astronaut. She an astronaut. Blue Origin, right? Oh, yeah. We went to space, even though it was like for 2 minutes. Yeah. You need to take me seriously. I'm an astronaut. Trudeau, yo. Yeah, I wonder who's wearing a strap on. Yeah. You wear a strap on, boy. You. She wearing a strap on, bro. Bro, she wearing a strap on, bro. You know she wearing a strap on, right? She said, yeah, I'm going to massage your prostate. Remember that? Remember that shit with, what's that movie? American Pie with Stifler? When he went to the sperm bank? And the woman, the nurse, she fucking, she did the old, she put on the glove. She went, he said, yeah, it's called milking the sprite. She said, yeah, I'm going to milk the prostate. And he was like screaming like a mule. Yeah, let me hear you roar. That's what she's doing ahead. Oh man, I hope I don't get in trouble on this one. You know who's the top and you know who's the bottom, right? There you go, bro. That's it, bro. You know Katie is the lion.
He refused to send around the cops and the ever-loving social workers to pluck people off the street. And people have been dying. I mean, you can't walk from your car to the door in New York without, in a top coat and proper gloves, and in my case, a fantastic fedora when I'm properly dressed. But gloves and with the fur line. Everything that a working person in good shape is gonna wear. Hats and
Forgot
gloves,
about that.
scarves,
Katy
and
Perry
things,
doing that guy, bro.
wrapped up in North Face jackets. And we're running around
doing
like
Trudeau, bro.
These poor homeless people.
Don't get me wrong, bro.
The classic shopping bag ladies.
Don't get me wrong, though. For a while, I had a little thing for Katy Perry, yo. I remember she made that video with Snoop Dogg.
And this bleeding heart.
And, that other video that she's like, of course, she's like, butt naked. And I was like, damn. I was like, damn. But now she crazy now. Now she crazy. Now she full-blown crazy. When she went up to that spaceship, it made her crazy.
So, yeah, matter of fact,
she sounded crazy when she came down. Oh my God, all the humanity. I went up there and I just saw a big blue circle, a big blue spear, and all the humanity. And she came down crazy, yo. And now she dating this guy, bro. Yo.
4 to 6 blocks of where I sit now.
Hey.
In Manhattan.
She just wants to, like you said, let me hear you roar.
Way to go. Great first month.
She wearing the strap on. She wearing the strap on, bro.
Let's see. We got John waiting, and we got Pete right here. Pete, good morning. Welcome to another side.
Well, Justin is not very, And by the way, you know the rumor about Justin, right? Justin, right? You know the rumor about that. It was not. You know who his father. As I said, you know who his father is, right? Fidel. They said Justin's father is Fidel Castro. That Justin's mom, when she visited Cuba, because Justin's father was the prime minister of Canada many years ago. But when she was the first lady of Canada, I guess they visited Cuba, and Fidel kind of, Fidel, took care of business with, and the offspring is Justin. So that's the rumor that Justin is really Fidel's son. Fidel Castro's son. So Fidel is his daddy. Not, what is it? What's his father's name? His father, what's his name? Yeah, exactly. He gave it a Cuban cigar. And give it Cuban cigar. What's the father's name? I forgot his name. I forgot the father's name. I know he was prime minister many years ago. So anyway, I guess when they visited Cuba, so Fidel took care of business, and impregnated her, and Justin is an offspring from Fidel. Fidel Castro Ruz, comandante de Havana. Yeah, that guy. And by the way, he banged I'm gonna say it. I don't care what anybody says. He banged Barbara Walters. I know he banged her. I know he banged her. I even as a kid, I saw the chemistry. Even as a kid, I remember that. I remember the way she was like looking. She banged him. He banged her. He definitely banged Barbara Wawa. He definitely banged her. Because that was the rumor, but I could see it. He definitely banged her. Because, by the way, and let me tell you something about him. He's a player. He was a player. Che Guevara. Che Guevara. Che Guevara. His right-hand man. His right-hand man. He was banging. That man was, cause I saw the biography about him. That man was banging women left and right. El Che. So Fidel was banging too. He was banging. He was banging. He was banging. And I know he banged Barbara Walters. So he was, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hell yeah, he tapped her. He tapped Barbara Walters. Yeah, she got an hour and a half interview with him. Yeah, well, she got more than that from him. That's for sure. Like I said, bro, my channel, anything goes, bro. And I've been out for 56 minutes, bro. We talk about whatever. I'm listening to TJ McCormick. However, bro, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just bring it on here. And I got a question right here. What food smells better than it tastes? I don't know. I have a few. But YouTube told me to post this. So you know what? Whatever. So there you go.
Racial
Yep.
issues.
Oh yeah, racial and LGBTQ.
That's right.
Yep.
And the people that don't have any intelligence or are eating the pablum or drinking the Kool-Aid or Netflixed up, subliminally retarded, eating ice cream, listening to whatever they're told to do, looking at their phones and showing up where they're told to be, they're going to get in on this. So it's going to be racial.
Yep.
It's going to be, when they prove, when they prove, and they have the proof in Atlanta, nobody's even talking about it.
Right.
Because, like you said, now at any moment, you could break in and say, wow, we just bombed Iran.
Right.
Because at any moment, why aren't all these Hollywood people talking about all the people that are being mowed down like in Iran now, like they were in Tiananmen Square?
Mm-hmm.
Or why, if they're so worried about this nurse who kicked a car, spit on them.
All right, here we go. James Farley, I guess you don't want to hear right now. I'm going to announce coming soon 30-day live stream. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna try to do the logistics. I'm gonna stream for 1 month in a row, day and night. So there's times you're gonna hear me snore. I want to do a 30-day live stream. I don't know what happened. Something got in me and said, "Yo, bro, I want to go to the next level." So I'm going to work it out. I'm going to set a date. So there you go. You're the first one to know about it. 30-day live stream. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. 30 days in a row. Not too many people have done that. But I want to do it. I want to do it, bro. Yeah, I need people like you. I need people to hear it. I need people to hear to poke me all day. Hey, what the hell you doing? Boop, boop, boop. Keep me up. I got a few hours here, a few hours there. I'm probably gonna look like crap at the end of the 30 days. But you know what? I want to do it, bro, because I want to take. I think that man, that's going to take me to the next level. It's not only that, but I want to do it. You know why I want to do it? Because not too many people done that. It's like, seriously, I looked it up. It's like a marathon. It's a marathon thing. Like, it's like, it's not that many. It's really surprised how many it's not. And by the way, the ones that did it, they all are big. They're all big. So I figured, you know what? I could do it. You know why? You know why I believe I could do it? Because I've been kind of doing it already. But because I got people like you that always check on me, yo, what the hell you doing, bro? And we just you know, like people pull me through, and that's what I need. I need that. You know, and by the way, it's not gonna be that, you know, like I said, it's not about 100 people watching me an hour. It's 30 days in a row, but you know, every hour I have 1 or 2 people watching me. That's all I need. Even if it's 0 for a few minutes. If I'm up, I'm talking. If I'm not up, I'm snoring. Somebody's criticizing my snoring. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want. So I got to work out the logistics. I got to reorganize my room because my bed is going to be right there. No, my bed's going to be right there. My bed's going to be nearby. So, you know, the stream's going to be by. The stream's going to be going by. You're going to hear me snore. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And I want to do it, bro. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do this. I want to do this. And yeah, I want to try it, bro. I want to try it. I still want to try this, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. If I can help you keep going, oh yeah, please. Yeah. I'll probably give you my number just to call me and sometimes. Yeah. No, it's not gonna be the phone. It's gonna be it's not gonna be with the phone. It's gonna be it's probably gonna be the dual stream in the room. It's gonna be dual stream. It'll be dual stream. I don't think I can do both. It's not gonna be the phone because I need my phone. I'm gonna need my phone for other stuff. So it's gonna be webcam. I gotta set up a battery backup system in case we have a little hiccup with the power. And it'll be a webcam. It might be 2 webcams. Right now it's 1 webcam right now. You know what you saw earlier? It's gonna be that. But I'm thinking about 2 webcams. 2 webcams where I can switch it. So maybe when I'm sleeping, I don't know if people want to watch me sleep. I'm thinking about putting a webcam when I'm sleeping. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I want to do that. But let me, clear up the room and all that. Or if when I'm sleeping, I'll put it on a radio. If I'm sleeping, I'll put it on a radio and tune, a little, a band, 1 station there, and leave it there when I'm sleeping in the other side of the room. But I want to try this, man. I want to try it. I want to try it. I really want to try this. I know it sounds bizarro. Yeah. No, food-wise, I'm going to be good. But I want to try it. I want to separate from, the other people. And I'm not doing it for that, but I really want to do this, because I'm getting some inspiration from a couple of people. And, I want to try it, I love streaming, though. You understand that I love streaming. Unlike, some other people, I want to stream, I don't know how you can do it. I don't know how I can do it. I love streaming. Streaming is fun. I don't care about making videos and editing. I rather stream. Stream is real. You understand stream? Streaming is real. You keep it real. But yeah, I am gonna stock up on the pizza rolls and all that. Yeah, I will stock up on all that. Pizza rolls, taquitos. I get taquitos, bagel bites. What else? Soup. You know, I love the what you call it? Chunky soup. Oh, I love chunky soup. All types of chunky soup I love. They got so many different chunky soup. Oh my god, I go crazy with chunky soup. Yeah, it's like CB radio with picture, exactly. And plus, I'm gonna be doing contacts. In fact, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna set up like I want to set up like an afternoon doing single sideband only. You know, I don't do my single sideband, but for the 30-day shit, I'm not gonna lie to you though. For the 30-day shit, I will be on single sideband for a few hours. Just calling out CQ on 10 meters. Look, I'll dedicate like one day just doing single sideband. Because I'm going to get a lot of contacts. In 30 days, I want to get a lot of contacts. And then I'll do, you know, one day DMR contacts only. So I'm going to be talking to people all around the world for the whole day on DMR and things like that. That's what I want to do. Because it's 30 days, it's not going to go to waste. I'm going to have a lot of contacts when I'm done with those 30 days. I'm going to do a lot of, yeah, you can do one day putting, yeah, believe me, it's going to be a lot. Especially when conditions are good, I'm going to be like, for the next, 4 or 5 hours, we're going to do single sideband, 10 meters only. And I'm going to be getting contacts, just 10 meters. Call the CQ or break it into pileups, whatever. Things like that. Oh, my God. And we could do the test. We could do the test for a few hours. Couple of hours. We could just go over the test. You know what I'm saying? Anything to fill up time. When I'm up, we're going to fill up time. We're going to go over the general test a few times. I'm going to take the test practice live until I pass it. So I'm going to be multiple times. I'm going to take the test. I'm probably going to fail a few times. And then finally, by the end of the 30 days, I'm going to pass the practice test with flying colors. You see what I'm saying? I could do all this and make it work. And then after 30 days, I go take the test. Oh my God. I'm coming up with ideas right now, but all these ideas is popping out of my head. Of course, I'm going to do some retro gaming. I got a new console I just bought. I need to unbox that. I could talk about that. I got products I could talk about. I'm just a little weary about doing it online with cameras all over me. Yeah, but I obviously, like when for example, there's gonna be a time I'm gonna be upstairs with my family. I'm eating upstairs. I'm not gonna film all that. So I'll just point it at the radio, and that's it. Whatever, it's just dead air. There's gonna be a bunch of hours gonna be dead air. Not gonna be out all the time in 30 days. A lot of it's gonna be dead air. You're gonna hear background noise. But when I'm on, we're gonna do different stuff. We're gonna talk about different things and all that stuff. It's like I really want to do this, bro. I really want to try this. No, someone I would like to invite him down here, and but he's shy. I don't want to. I don't want to put pressure on him. I don't want. He's shy when it comes to the camera now. I don't want to put pressure on him. But you know, even my wife, we talked about it. She's thinking about doing some kind of channel. My wife is opening up to doing a channel now. She's thinking about doing a channel like a cooking channel and all that. So we'll see. But definitely, I want to do this. I think I really, I want to just take it to another level now. I don't know. I enjoy streaming so much. It's like I really do. I enjoy streaming because you guys are amazing, yo. All you guys are amazing. There's no way I could stream without you guys. You mean kicking the Danny to the doghouse channel? Yeah, I mean, I really do. I really enjoy, Like, there's no way I could do this without you guys. That's the point. So yeah. All right, let me go back to the radio and take a little break with my jaw piece.
Ben Stiller wrote this quote, "I love our country, but like so many of us."
Let's hear more. While he's pointing out all the liberals embarrassing themselves.
I love our country, but like so many of us.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's a disappointment too. Yeah. Also, that's what I'm looking. I really want to start building my layout. I really want to build my HO scale layout. That's why I need to clean that room up because I want to start building a layout. And I could also, have the layout running and hang out.
Ben Stiller. Entering our communities with impunity. They were denied due process in the life and dignity in death by an administration who refuted the reality of the world saw, shifting blame to the victims and creating false narratives about their lives and those fateful days. Laken Riley, Laken Riley, Laken Riley, Laken Riley. Hey, you know what? Everybody in the sound of my voice, all of the Facebook, all of the X family, all of the family over on Twitter, Catherine, all the gang over there, Marianne, Catherine, Patty, all of you guys, do me a favor, go over there and tweet at Ben Stiller, like 5 Laken Rileys, with one hashtag Laken Riley. Do a hashtag Laken Riley, Lakenriley, Laken Riley. Do a hashtag Laken Riley at Ben Stiller. And in addition to that hashtag Laken Riley, do like 5 Laken Rileys at Ben Stiller. Do that, and we'll all retweet it. All right? Catherine, Marianne, all you guys, all the family, all the Another Side of Midnight family over there on Twitter. Do that. Harass him. And just keep hitting send. Just fill his Twitter reply feed. Actually reply to his letter. Don't just at him. Reply to his open letter. I'll retweet it. I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to retweet that letter, and you guys all jump on that retweet, okay? With a whole bunch of Laken Rileys. And any of the other names of those poor girls that were killed by illegal aliens. 1-800-848-9222. We'll come back to everybody on the phones. It's me, TJ, on Another Side of Midnight. It's the 24th day in a row that we're not talking about the Somali scandal.
Yeah, I know, 24. James, I'm gonna send you my personal because I have a Facebook like page, but that's not the one I don't talk. I just post. Then I have a private group, but it's only 21 people in there. But I have a personal Facebook page that I have a bunch of radio operators and the shortwave stuff and all that. If you could email me, I'm going to send you my personal Facebook account. So it's going to be like facebook.com/Danny Radio and Tech. That's my personal Facebook. That's where I got my, I got about 600 people in there. I'm going to add you on that one. And that one, I could DM you. We could DM all you want. Facebook Messenger on that one. That's the only one that that's the one that I had, so-and-so in there. And he had a meltdown about my president. I believe he still has me as a friend. I unfollowed him and everything, but I don't know if he still follows me. But that's the one that it's like my personal, but it's not really personal. Like I don't really put real personal stuff, but I do have my wife in there. That's all. What I mean by personal is it's still radio related stuff, but yeah. Okay, so look me up as Jim Farley. Okay. So I'm gonna look you up, but my email, my email, DannyRadioandTech@gmail.com. If you could send me a Facebook link in there, it'll be easier for me. Because I don't want to look up like 10,000 Jim Farleys. Your name is very common. So if you could send your link to DannyRadioandTech@gmail.com, I will look you up and I add you to my Facebook. That's the one that I can message you there, whatever, Same thing with Theo. I need to get in touch with Theo and he could talk to me there. That's my personal Facebook. That's where, I only have a select few people. I have a bunch of radio operators in there. Some of them just look me up and they want to add me. I do add them, but I carefully check them out. Because, I don't add people that got Trump derangement syndrome. I don't add liberals. If you try to add me and I see Trump derangement syndrome stuff going on there, you ain't gonna make it to my page. I will not add you. So the only people adding there is people that are, sympathetic to my man and radio operators that are, not crazy political. That's it. Believe me, I only have 600 something people, but I don't look up. I don't hook up anybody. They know that. I even booted, the official SWL guy out of my shit because he's too fucking crazy. Sorry, Jules. Well, yeah, I had to boot you because I don't want crazy meltdowns about my president. Sorry, I love you, whatever, God bless you, and I hope everything works out for you. But with me, no, I can't have that. I don't want to have no people calling my people that voted for him morons and blah, blah, blah. No. That don't fly with me, bro. You can't be on my Facebook after that. That's it. That's how tight my Facebook is. I keep that shit tight. I don't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry in there. That's not happening. It's not about numbers. I want quality. Like I need to get Tasso in there. Tasso, Keegan. I need to get quality. That's what I have. And of course I have my in-laws are in there. My in-laws are in there, although some of them don't like Trump, but who cares? They know if they don't like it, get the fuck out. Even my in-laws. You don't like it? Get the fuck out. That's it. That's my man. That's it. That's my man. And by the way, my Facebook, I don't post politics shit. Once in a while, I'll post something. That's it. It's more, that's where I post all my live streams. I post, all my QSLs. My QSLs, I posted there too. And I post other stuff that I really find interesting. That's it. But it's not political. It's rarely political. Rarely. It's rarely. And what I mean by that is and not only rarely, it's subtle. It's not nothing. But my thing is, you're not going to post on my Facebook that shit, because I will be, I have people post, crazy. No, you gone, bro. I don't want you on my Facebook. That's it. It's my Facebook. I want, in my feed, I want to see what I want to see. That's it. That's it, So if you want to talk to me on Facebook Messenger, we gotta hook up there, and then you can talk all you want. Then we could talk. Because I in the future I may do a couple of live streams on Facebook, but not yet. And Facebook, I don't really care about Facebook Live, but I wouldn't mind maybe doing a multi stream, and then YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and maybe a Facebook. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about that in the future. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna look you up.
If me and Joe Tacopina could cross-examine these people,
Right.
we'd fry them. First of all, the women who went there, the women who are now saying, "I want 10 million, I want," no one ever asked them, "Why did you keep going back there?
Right.
Why did you continue working with him then?" You knew what he wanted you to do when he asked you to work for him. And if there's no victim and there's no criminal,
yeah, because when I do my 30 days, bro, I need people to. I'm gonna have my phone on me, and people are gonna blow up my phone and tell me, "Yo, Danny, yo." I need all that, bro. I need people to poke me and say, "Hey, Danny, bro, whatever,
Right. No, because again, they're all.
And I don't know, man. I would like Tasso to come to Yonkers and sit down with me. But I definitely want to meet him. So I don't know. During the 30 days, maybe I'll do a trip to Times Square. And me and Tasso could meet up.
I will end up having to cut you off, and I don't want to do that. You guys been hanging on. So.
Because me and Tasso, we're gonna meet up. We're gonna meet up. I wanted to do a live stream with Tasso in Times Square. But that may be separate. That may be in a separate time. But it's up to Tasso. Tasso, he's a busy guy. He's going to school right now. But I definitely want to meet Tasso. He's a great member. He's one of my longest members in this channel. Tanner is my #1 member in this channel right now. He's been on for 24 months. Tasso's right behind him, 23 months.
It was August or September. It was the first week of
So,
that's what that mass was for. It was a Friday, wasn't it? Wasn't it a Friday?
as much as I want to meet Tanner, he wants to be basically anonymous. He's never been on the live stream.
By a transactive.
But I appreciate Tanner, and thank you, Tanner. Thank you for supporting this channel.
And thank you, Silas, for connecting those.
But Tasso, I definitely wanna since he has a channel and all that, I definitely, if anything I can help him blow up his channel, you know what? So be it. I definitely wanna do a video with Tasso.
And fire and brimstone in that.
Or maybe I'll go to Queens and go to his house.
Literally.
All right, cool. I'll check it out later on, later on this morning. When I wake up later on. I'll check out the emails. Right now I'm on my phone. I'm not gonna go through all that right now. But yeah, I'll check it out later, and I'll definitely we're definitely gonna I'll send you a request. Yeah, so me and Tasso, I want to meet him, and then we'll do some kind of video together. Maybe do video and a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna bless him. I'm definitely gonna bless him with some gifts.
picking on a gay black man. I'm their guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bless him with some gifts. I'm gonna make a little gift bag, a gift box, whatever. I'm gonna hook him up because he's one of my biggest supporters, you know, and he's local to me. So I'm gonna bless him. I'm gonna bless him. And you know, we're gonna make a video together. And if I go to his house though, I gotta wear a mask because you know the cat. Because you know I get allergies. He has a beautiful cat. All right, oh, cool. I send you my phone and address. Okay, cool. All right, appreciate that. And you know, I want to see his pets. Linda is his cat, and he has the birds. He has some beautiful birds. So I don't know, you know, I want to meet him at Times Square first, and then maybe later on I go to his house in Queens if he wants to entertain me there. That's up to him. But first I want to meet him in Times Square or somewhere like that. Somewhere, you know, probably where we could do a video together. Yeah.
Here's a portion of Lemon's blog.
You heard what some of the folks said in there, that they shouldn't be there, and you know they shouldn't be uncomfortable, and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed Lemon and 3 others were arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest 12 days ago at the city's church in St. Paul. ICE is not going to be at the Super Bowl next Sunday. The agency will have a presence in the San Francisco area next weekend, but have no plans to be at Levi's Stadium on Sunday.
By the way, James, speaking of Pam Bondi, here you go. I'm going to go out on a limb on this one because she is a lot older. But I always had to think about Janine Pirro. You know, of course, I remember seeing her back in the days when she was in the, you know, court days, you know, Judge Janine. But I don't know, man. I always had to think about that woman, though, because you know she fiery, yo. She fiery. Of course, now, you know, she a lot older, whatever. But, yo, I always had to think about Judge Janine. It's just me, bro. You know? Of course, Pirro, of course, she's Italian, you know. I got a soft spot for Italian women, you know. Really fiery Italian women. Of course, she was district attorney of Westchester, my county, right here, Westchester County. She was a DA. So, you know, I always had to think about Janine, just Janine. So there you go, bro. I know she's a lot older now, but my God, bro. Oof. I always had to think about that Italiana, bro. Ay, Dios mío. Sí, de verdad. I'll leave it at that. Just Janine Pirro.
You might be sleeping more, or you
I
might
know,
be
just
interested
a
in
fire,
your
you know.
hobbies, for instance. Meantime, a leading psychologist.
But don't get me started with Bridget Gabrielle. Have you looked at Bridget Gabrielle? Oh my God.
She says we can't change the weather, so accepting that it is cold can help. Also, the good news
Bridget
is winter
Gabrielle.
does end. Lisa G, 77 WABC News. New York City's snow removal operations could continue for the next couple of weeks. Some parts of the city received as much as 15 inches of snow, and it's got to go somewhere. That's why the Department of Sanitation is working to melt it.
Cold temperatures have made it very difficult for any of the snow to melt.
DSNY has set up 8 melting stations across the 5 boroughs, which consist of so-called hot tubs. It then gets processed into the sewer system. In sports, the White House has announced a partnership with Fanatics, America 250, and major sports leagues to mark the 250th anniversary of...
Which one? Brigitte, oh my God. Oh, Brigitte. Lebanese, man. Oh, God, I got a soft spot for that woman. Oh, God. Oh, no, Janine Pirro. Oh, yeah. Back in her prime. Oh, man. She a little long on the tooth right now, but still, bro. It's just the fire. I don't know, man. Her fire really, just Janine. Janine Pirro. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm a sucker for Italian. Yo, let me tell you, I'm a sucker for Italian women. For real. I'm a sucker for Italian women. For real, bro. I dated one. Man. Jesus Christ, bro. I could have that could have been my wife, bro. Her name was Kelly. She lived in Queens, bro. Funny story about her. You know how I met her? I was doing community service. And she was doing community service. So that means not only I committed a crime, she committed a crime too. You know, petty crime, nothing serious. You know, community service, disorderly conduct type shit. You gotta do a little community service. Fiery woman. Oh my God, bro. Let me just say. She came up to me. This Italian woman came up to me. She said, we talked, and she said, I'm going to give you my number. Call me. No pressure. I still looked at her. I said, okay. You know me? I was like, yeah. Fine as woman. Fine. Stacked. She said, I'm going to give you my number. I like you. She just came up to me and gave me her number. By the way, this is when I was in my 20s, bro. This is a long time ago. She said, I like you. Don't let it get to your head. But here's my number. And then, of course, a few days later, we went out. I met her in Queens. We went to a couple of bars. We went to her place. And, the rest is history. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. But, yo, she's just direct. She's direct. She said, I like you. I'm going to give you my number. You're going to call me, right? And I said, yeah, I'll call you. Yo, straightforward, bro. I said, bro, I was like, what? I said, hell yeah, bro. I think that's like the second time in my life I had that approach. Well, a woman came up to me and said, you know what? I'm going to give you my number. When I get to your head, you're going to call me, right? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to call you. She was straightforward, bro. She was like, bam, boss woman. I was like, holy shit, bro. I was like, oh, my God, bro. I couldn't wait.
John's right.
Oh, my God. Take charge, baby.
It's just a state of mind.
That's what I'm talking about.
State of mind.
Y'all talking loud, bro. I'm talking loud, bro. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Anyway,
I might get in trouble later on.
That was a gut punch, man.
I get in trouble later on, bro.
We're gonna wrap up our calls. We're gonna keep talking about the Minneapolis, and
this is why I tell you people, my streams are real, bro. They're real, bro. There's some consequence that comes out of these streams. Yeah. Not much shiver. What the hell's all this? Okay. Like, yeah, okay, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, like the stream too. There you go. Like it.
And there are things
There you go.
that you can
Hey, there you
teach to
go.
people
Woo.
about comedy theory,
Oh my God, bro.
and timing. You can teach the concept of timing. You can give a clinic in
I love the
what
drive-bys,
good
bro.
comic timing is. And, you know, you can teach people about being funny. There's
Fill it
people
up, bro.
who you can teach. There's funny people, and there's people with funny bones
Yeah.
that inhabit. The funny inhabits them. They are a carrier for funny. And they just...
Funny how like I amuse you?
They live
Funny?
Catherine O'Hara had funny bones.
Yeah, she's funny.
Funny woman.
She's funny and she's
Like,
fine too.
Amazing. And
she was funny
I
and
go
fine.
all the way back to the 70s
She
with
a
that
fine
first
woman
iteration
too,
of Second City Television. She was devastatingly funny.
Yep.
Great character named Lola Heatherton. It was a take on Joey Heatherton. Oh, God. She was magnificent. She would leave it all out there. Catherine O'Hara. Nuts. She would just go and be bonkers. And if any comic... She was, at one point, she was Gilda Radner's understudy.
Yep.
In Second City in Toronto.
There you go, bro.
Gilda Radner's understudy.
Exactly. There you go. That's a legend right there, Gilda Radner.
For the live performances at their Second City Theater. And Catherine O'Hara. Oh, my God. Just every time I think that I've remembered my favorite Catherine O'Hara character, I remember 4 more.
Exactly, bro.
So... The mom, for me, for a Catherine O'Hara fan, the mom from Home Alone. Kevin, I mean, that's like the least of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a nice booking. That was like lovely casting. That's what that was. That was nice casting. Somebody with energy. That was actually an opportunity to see another side of Catherine O'Hara. That's what that film was. And I think she did one other dramatic movie along the way. And then there was the Christopher Guest mockumentaries. She wasn't in Spinal Tap, but she was in all the other brilliant films. Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, Waiting for Guffman, Jesus, goodness, sweet feathery Jesus, Waiting for Guffman. If this is foreign to you guys, go and watch these films. They're all the mockumentary format that Christopher Guest really nailed. And she was magnificent.
Beetlejuice.
We'll play a clip in a few minutes. I want to make sure we get to our friends who are waiting here. Let's go to Joaquin on line 1. Good morning, Joaquin.
Good morning.
Hi, Pat.
Good morning, PJ Maximum.
Oh.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara, oh my God, bro.
I got a quick question for you.
At CTV, that's it, bro. I had a crush on her. When I first saw that at CTV, I had an instant crush on her. Funny woman, Canadian, attractive. I had a crush on her from day one. So I follow her career, bro. Because you know me, man, bro. I spot it, bro. I spot beauty and talent, bro. Right there, bro. Booyah. Oh, well, turn it off, man. What's wrong with me, bro? Hell's going on with me, bro? Oh no, Terry Gore. Oh yeah, that's another one. Oh yeah, don't get me started with Terry Gore. I'm talking about, you know, I'm trying to keep it on topic with Catherine O'Hara. But yeah, Terry Gore. Oh my God, that's another one. Oh yeah, bro. Jesus Christ. Terry Gar's another one. Especially the commercials. Oh my God, bro.
Whataboutisms are just maddening, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You know something?
And every time she went on, the talk shows. Oh yeah, that's another crush. Terry Gar.
And waves of people, against machine guns or whatever else. Well,
Right.
the left wants that people would die to perpetrate their cause.
But I always had a thing for Maureen O'Hara because she's very talented, yo. She in that class of FCTV, she really stood out.
They
They
were
would be
arrested
alive.
the first time
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, they would be alive if they weren't encouraged to get between law enforcement and their targets. They would be alive if they had simply listened to what they were told to do. They'd be alive. They'd be alive if those cops if those federal agents who were being responsible in issuing the proper orders, they would be alive.
Well, they should have been arrested. I mean, Alex Prey, the first time around, he assaults a vehicle, and deliberately causes damage to federal property.
Yep.
And then Renee Good, the same thing with her. If her car was towed away and impounded and she was arrested,
Right.
and people have to pay $500 to get their car out of impound, I'm pretty sure it's going to stop a lot of this, But unfortunately, I guess they really didn't anticipate these kind of problems. But you know what? The left is throwing their people in a cannon fodder to be chewed up and spit out, and to die.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry,
And because also, not only does it make a point, but it provides the massive distraction to do whatever they can to buy time to save the asses and the careers of Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. And now you're going to have to save the career of Jacob Fry once we it comes out and we get this down that his complicity in all this. It's again the ends justify everything, including dead people.
Now, I want to get to Bruce Springsteen, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is very dangerous because I looked it up, and allegedly that song went to #1. So the left now has an anthem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping is that Kid Rock is very talented, so is Nicki Minaj. I'm hoping that he comes up with a scathing slam to chop, Bruce Springsteen down to.
Yep. We need that. We need it. We need a good retort. We need a good rallying cry for the conservatives in this country, the people who know that we're on the right side of the issues.
And think about this with illegal immigration. I'm sure that you've heard that's been going around that Mexico wants to reclaim land that they surrendered. I mean, actually, they lost it.
Oh, for ages they've wanted that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so now they're
Reconquista. It's called the rate. I remember this. I remember Rush Limbaugh talking about this. Rest his soul. The Reconquistas wanted to come back. I remember this was all when I was living in California. It came up all the time. Go ahead. Sorry, because that's what you're talking about.
No, that's all right. No, but they're flooding the country with illegals, and this is the whole thing. They want to try and take back land. Well, you know something? They lost their land, and I'm also getting tired of hearing this whole thing about stolen land. Well, guess what? The history of the world is those who were conquered and those who are doing the conquering.
Yeah.
And so this is what has established all borders around the world. And quite frankly, I want to live in a sovereign nation, not with a bunch of leftists that want to destroy this country and hand it over to somebody else.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it blows my mind, that people have been so brainwashed. But it goes back because, I mentioned it before, Yuri Bezmenov, the Soviet, KGB propaganda defector, he said that this had been going on starting way back, before the 50s even went back. He was in the 80s, and he said this has been going on for decades.
Yep.
And you could see it. In the 1950s, Senator Joe McCarthy, he was 100% on the money about what he was talking about. And so now the left has co-opted all the media and unfortunately, and the educational system, so everybody's being brainwashed between school and between what they're watching and consuming media.
Yep.
And until we start changing these narratives, and people start speaking more forcefully and opposing all these perversions of our history, we're never going to win. But we also have to recognize that the left is out to destroy this country. I have nothing in common with any of these people. I'm so sorry. I hate to even call them my fellow Americans anymore.
Well, look, they're just barely our fellow Americans, Joaquin. I got to jump, buddy. Thanks as always. They're just barely. And it is a shame. It is a crying shame. There's something wrong with each of them. And you look at those pictures. You look at the pictures. I mean, God, look, rest his soul, Alex Pretty. Rest his soul. The guy did have an honorable calling to be a nurse, let alone being a VA nurse.
Yeah, but they showed a video of him a few weeks ago that he fucking spat at an ICE vehicle and he kicked the rear lights to the point where they snapped off. He destroyed the rear lights, and they came and arrested him. So people talk about the narrative about this VA nurse. They want to put him as a fucking saint, but the guy was a troublemaker. Even his father told him not to take the gun to the protests. But he did. Excuse me. So, of course, the media is not going to talk about that because, they're biased. They want to keep promoting this ICE, Gestapo bullshit, which is not true. I grew up in New York City. So, you know what I learned a long time ago? When law enforcement is doing their job, you mind your fucking business. That's it. You mind your fucking business. If it concerns your family, then you tell your family member to stay cool, don't talk, and go through the system. Talk to a lawyer. That's what I always told people when they're getting arrested. Don't say anything, just like I did. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. If you're going to get arrested, there's nothing you can do about it. When you get arrested, there's nothing you can do about it. You plead you have your Fifth Amendment right. Don't say anything. Remember, anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. And by the way, they will use it against you. I can attest to that. So even if a family member is getting arrested, I will tell them to calm down. Just do what they say. Get in the car, and comply, whatever. You're going to call your lawyer, or you're going to get appointed a lawyer. If you cannot afford one, you will get a legal aid or whatever, and that's it. When you resist, you're adding so many other, so many variables to the point where you can get killed, and that's what happened. These people don't understand that because they've been living the entitled life. Mommy and mommy, daddy and daddy, or daddy and animal, whoever the fuck it is, told them that they can, resist and do all this bullshit. And the reality of the world is you cannot do that. That's what happened to this woman. She stepped on the gas and she died. The other guy had a gun. He died. That's what happens. People like me, I grew up in the Bronx. I had guns in my face quite a few times in my life. You know what I did? I complied. Hey, we think you got a gun in your bag. I say, officer, I got my hands up right here. They can see my hands. I say, officer, I got nothing in my bag. You know what? If you want to search, go ahead. I got nothing. And then usually they tell me, you know what? I believe you. They don't even go through my bag. They say, oh, you know what? You sound sincere. You're not giving me any resistance. They apologize to me. They say, oh, sorry, sir. Oh, okay. And I tell them, you know what? Thank you. No problem, officer. I go about my business. I never had an incident with a cop. Only when I acted up. Only one time I had an incident with a cop. You know why? Because I was stupid that night. I was loaded. I was high on weed. And I had a bunch of fucking liquor in my system. That's the only time in my life that I acted up. And I wound up in handcuffs. And I got smacked up. That's it. Every other time before that, we're gonna lock you. We're gonna arrest you. Okay, officer, no problem. Put my hands behind my back. They cuffed me, put me in the seat, put me in the back seat. Okay, yeah, that's it. I went to the precinct. They were gonna ask me questions. I said, no, I'm not talking to you. That's it. Once they took me to the precinct, you want to make a statement? Nope, I'm not talking to you. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer. That's it. Then they put me in a holding cell. From there, they took me to central booking. I go see the judge. Boom, that's it. That's how you handle it. You don't talk. But these people don't do that. They want to go in there, cause havoc, run into some. That's why you get shot. You get shot because you stupid. You get shot because you fucking stupid. That's what happened. You understand? That don't happen to people that know the law and understand the law. You know? That's the fact of the reality. I grew up in the Bronx, 40 years. I dealt with cops, guns in my face. You want to call it racist? Yeah, sometimes I believe, because I'm Puerto Rican, they might have pulled out, they might have pulled out on me. But I let them know right away, no. I ain't that guy. I'm an honest Puerto Rican. And they said, oh, okay, my bad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. I said, no, you know what? You're doing your job, officer. No problem. You see what I'm saying? When you're guilty or when you're stupid, it's when you die. That's what happens. And there you go. You see what I'm saying? But people don't understand that. People want to characterize all law enforcement as, whatever. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay? That's bullshit. So there you go. Doug Masari, humans. Yeah, well, yeah, we're all humans. But, unfortunately, some humans don't know how to act. They're just stupid. They just have no common sense. They're stupid, mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy, or horsey and daddy, or horsey and mommy, doggy and doggy. I don't know what the fuck parents are. It or is, whatever the fuck it is, taught them otherwise. That's it. See what I'm saying? It happens, bro. People have a major malfunction and they don't know how to act.
Private sectors for prevention, treatment, and recovery support. That's a plan. Now, there's got to be actual action here. It can't just be talking. It can't just be, Narcan training so heroin overdoses are saved. It can't just be that. There's got to be funding for programs. It's got to be actual getting rid of the stigma. It's got to be actual promotion of 12 steps. And any and all forms of recovery. Blow it up. Get it out there. Pay for it. Just get it into the mainstream. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to the. I'm gonna say, you know what? This is the Pamela. This is the Pamela. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning. Now, I really don't have to tell this audience because they're, they know enough not to listen to the channels or the streaming of the other side, and they're listening to you in WABC for the most part.
Yes.
However, we have to do whatever we can. Now, we're busy working. We're not being paid by Soros or Neville Roy Singham to protest for $1,500 a week. So we are at a deficit. So we have to do what we can. Like you did that tweet with Lake and Riley. Whatever we can do, that means we do not stream. We do not go on any of these music apps.
Right.
Listen to any of their music, because every time they go ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Here, here.
And,
I'm no Spotify.
We cannot do this. We have to be organized in our thoughts.
I'm no Spotify.
Now, Mark Levin had an excellent show tonight, and everybody needs to do their homework and listen to it. It's a little hard to listen to because he read from a...
By the way, you know what? She's right about one thing. I'm going to do an unboxing soon on an MP3 player. You know why? Because I'm done with music streaming services, controlling what I want to listen to, and also recommending me what I want to listen to. No, I don't want you to recommend anything to me. I want to listen what I want to listen to, and that's it. Don't recommend something because they're paying you to recommend me. And that's the problem I find with these music services now, especially Spotify. You understand? That's why I'm going to go back to my old school. I'm going to bring the box right here. Let me bring it right here. I gotta unbox this guy soon because I keep talking about it. But right here, you see this? MP3 player. I got my own music, bro. I got like 50 gigabytes of music that I listen to, but I haven't been listening to lately because I've been using Spotify and all this bullshit. You need to take control of your own music back. Get an MP3 player like this, like that, and listen to what you want to listen to. Forget about recommendations. I don't know who the fuck Sabrina Carpenter is. I don't even give a fuck about this bitch. But she's all over the fucking place. You see what I'm saying? Because why? Because somebody's paying them to promote this bitch. Fucking no talent. Whatever the fuck. And that's the problem. That's why I want my MP3 player back. I want my own music back. I don't want to hear Spotify recommending me shit anymore. Fuck that. Shit. This is what I'm talking about. Get an MP3 player. Rip your own CD collection. Whatever you have physical. And listen to that. Fuck this recommendation shit. Fucking pay all this shit. Fuck them. I'm done with that shit. I don't want to hear that shit no more. That's why I'm telling you. Get an MP3 player. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking charge of my motherfucking media. And the same thing's going to happen with video eventually. I got mad DVDs out there on crates and boxes. I don't need fucking Netflix and all this shit. Fucking recommending me fucking lefty shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that shit. You know me, Bob, 420. Bet you won't go star 57 on your phone. No, I don't know what the fuck it is, and I don't care. Whatever. Anyway, there you go. Okay, back to the radio.
He didn't F around.
Right, yeah,
he just
exactly.
did what he had to do. And Trump's got to go in there and stop this.
And Trump should take the leftists at their word. If they have such a problem with insurrections, you know, if they all believe Jan 6 J6 was an insurrection. Well, then you know what? Give them what they want. Go in and crush the insurrections when they happen, whether it's in Minneapolis or Seattle or Chicago or one of these days right here in New York. It's going to happen. It's right around the corner. Thank you, Pamela, as always. 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, no. It just cannot stand. You've got to literally punch these people, punch these sharks in the nose, punch these people in the face, make them stop. Virtually, of course. Virtually, of course. I mean that in a metaphorical sense, of course. I mean, by all means, punch them if they, start jumping on the cops. But, yeah, no, it's, again, remember I was thinking before the rabbit hole that I was going down. That Freddie, you're looking at, again, either photo of him. There's something wrong. And I was going to say, even these old ladies I see.
Yeah, he's a creep. I can see by the picture he's a fucking creep.
Couple of real, like, old-fashioned, and they're old. Lefties.
Creep ass.
I see in my neighborhood.
VA nurse.
And they're gray. And they're mousy. And they're unattractive.
Loser fuck. There you go.
And they're, and they're sour.
Now you're a dead fuck. Fuck you.
Never upbeat. But it's not a sourness that's based on
you're like for whatever
anything immediate. They're not reacting to something in the moment. You're
a martyr for a bunch of fucking people that don't give a fuck about you. You're yesterday's news, and they're gonna fucking use your.
I'm not saying derangement in the TDS sense, but there is a derangement present in the eyes of these proper leftists.
No, it is derangement.
And an incredulity. Do you ever been talking to a leftist and that moment when they realize what side you're on? Do you ever get that almost clownish look on their face? It's like...
Yeah, they get angry.
It's not astonishment or shock.
They get angry. And
that wouldn't be so remarkable other than the fact that they were shocked to learn something right in front of you.
Syndrome's real, bro. Don't you know that, bro? It's real, bro.
It's not just a shocked face. It's a weird...
It's funny, bro. It's funny watching them go crazy, bro.
Like bewilderment that's sort of married with...
I had a guy that had 53,000 subscribers. I respected him a lot, and he went TDS on me. And what the shit that he wrote down, I was just like, wow, the guy's having a meltdown, bro. And I love the guy, bro. I love the guy. But for real, bro, I love the guy. You know why I love the guy? Because he taught me how to stream. I'm always going to give that man credit, bro. He taught me how to stream. He taught me how to, be me. He taught me how to be real, be me, and stream. But man, that man has changed, bro. That man is like, how you call it? He caved in. He caved into the lefties. All because of one man. He was never, by the way, this man was never political. Never political until my man got elected. But the minute my man got elected, he had a meltdown. He had a meltdown. And that disappointed me because you know what? I don't let nobody. I never let any political decision get between me and anybody else. Whether you fucked up or not, I still love you. I still love you. Whether you think that, Trump is the devil, he's a Nazi and all that, I still love you. You understand that? I still love you no matter what, bro. But will you love me? No, you don't love me. You hate me. You want me to fucking die and all this shit. You want me to suffer an imaginable, unimaginable type death. What's wrong with you people? You people are really fucking bad, bro. When you get derangement syndrome, you just get demonic. That's what's fucked up about you. And that's why I lost respect to my man. I love my man. I wish him nothing but luck. And he don't need luck. He got 55,000 subscribers. He got over 100,000 on his tech channel. He's doing okay. He's doing okay. Me, I'm at 5,640 subs. I'm 10% of what he's at right now. But the difference between me and you is that I keep it real. I keep it real. And you don't. You don't keep it real because, you worry about, right now, I'm having fun with my channel. You are worried about how much you're making. And that's the difference between me and you. You lost sight of that, bro. When I sub to your channel, I respected you. You was fun, bro. You was a fun guy. You was a live wire. You was you used to go on your rants and all that. Now you turn into, how much money I'm gonna make tonight. That's it. That's all you all about now, bro. Every live stream is about how much money I'm gonna make. That's it. That's what happened to you. You lost focus, bro. You lost focus on that, bro. You lost mad focus on that shit. All you care about is how many super chats I'm getting now. Where my piece of fun? Where my kitty cat snacks? That's what happened to you, bro. You lost focus of all that shit, bro. You used to be a fun guy. And now you a fucking, you just fucking got greedy, bro. That's what happened to you, bro. That's what happened to you. You got greedy, bro. That's what happened to you. Well, now I'm going to teach you a lesson, bro. I'm going to teach you a lesson, bro. Because I'm determined, bro. I'm determined. I'm going to keep it real here. And let me tell you something, bro. When I got plans in 2026, it's going to blow your fucking mind, bro. It's going to blow your fucking mind, bro. Blow it away, bro. It's going to blow it away. That's going to happen now. You hear what I'm saying? That's going to happen now. It's shameful that you turn into that. It's shameful. And there you go. James Farley, then I got to hit the hey now. I'll be listening to you. I appreciate that. Let it play because I'm going to let it roll. That's it. Booyah. Good night, my friend. And I'll be in touch with you later on tonight or later on today. Bye-bye.
Serve the church to a point where they would be reforming in many other things, leave things, Catholic schooling in the archdiocese in better standing. But unfortunately, Pope Francis I last year died, and they couldn't extend Cardinal Dolan because it's mandatory 75 years old.
Yep.
So now, he is now going to be serving or living under a emeritus status in New York, and he says he loves New York, but I feel that Cardinal Dolan was the only one that was going to be able to move the church forward and into a better standing.
I agree, and he was in fact doing that. And as you know, thank you, E. Frank. As you know, I worked for Cardinal Dolan. Full disclosure, I was his director of communications for Catholic schools, and he was the very best thing about that experience. He was, there were some spectacular people that I worked with, some coworkers that were magnificent human beings, and I'm still in touch with them to this day. But Cardinal Dolan, who they are installing the new Archbishop on February 6th. And if there's any Catholics out there that think this was kind of a rush job and they get the sense that, somebody's got it in for Timothy Michael Cardinal Dolan, they're installing the new guy on February 6th. February 6th is the Cardinal's birthday. You think they're giving him the business? Mm-hmm. Yep. He's a great man. Cardinal Dolan is still, as Cardinal Archbishop of New York, still at heart, an educator and a parish priest. He is absolutely magnificent. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. Love him to death. Let's jump over to Eddie in Rockland. Good morning, Eddie.
Hey, TJ, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you not out there in this temperature, are you?
I just got here. It's 2 degrees, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Let's see what happens. Yeah. What you thinking this morning, buddy?
Well, I don't agree with any of this nonsense. These people do seem like they're a little bit, I don't know, deranged.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at it in their eyes.
Yeah.
And I still have to think to myself, there's a chance that they see the light somewhere because, I feel bad. Our country needs people who can see the light, see through all this BS that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really heartbreaking because, they have to have a better thing to do with their time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. My God, they have families to raise. They have jobs. What is with this obsession with anger and acting out on anger and rage? And it's not like community concern. It's not like, I don't think they love their neighbor as much as they hate Donald Trump. Avish?
But their neighbor loves them. That's what they don't see.
Yep.
Yep. And the other thing is, this new thing with Trump and Kennedy, it's wonderful.
The recovery initiative, yes.
So, there are all these things that are popping up there so good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope for the best. That's all I got to say.
All right, Eddie. Always short and sweet and always impactful. Thank you, buddy. God bless.
God bless.
All right. Eddie always brings it, and he brings it and pop. He sticks and moves. He sticks and moves. Pop, pop, pop. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Let me see. Let's, you know what? Let's go to Chris in the Catskills. Chris, good morning. Oh, wait, I got to hit the button. And there it is. Hello there, Chris in the Catskills.
Hey, good morning, TJ.
Hey.
I snowed out at 21 inches of snow. I was one of those areas that got a lot of the storm.
Yep, I had about 19.
So, I maybe am going to talk in a different language a little bit. I want to see more balance and logic in this country with how we govern.
Okay.
And I'd like to see people come together. However, I see such polarization in this country right now. I just don't see where this is going to lead to something better. I was watching Fareed Zakaria about a year and a half ago on CNN, and his opening statements of a few minutes will be very informative, and there's a high level of journalism and intellect and research that goes into it. He was discussing about back in the 1950s that people would complain that there was so much cooperation in the federal government, in Congress, that it was like an echo chamber. There was so many conservative Democrats and so many liberal Republicans that it was a period in our country legislatively when more things were accomplished, where the birth of the middle class in the aftermath of the World War II, the creation of the Levittown model, Serbia, and middle-class America, and then he fast-forwarded to the 60s where social movements has basically created a division in this country. And if you look at it, John F. Kennedy made the mistake of sending 1,000 troops to Vietnam to help out the French government when they had an imperialistic territory in Vietnam, because there was fears that France was going to jump off of NATO membership, and they were fighting the spread of communism in Vietnam, and that created a whole firestorm of protest, and rightfully so, in the sense that we should have been minding our own business here at home. But if you look back,
mind your business. There you go.
Going to Europe,
I said it. Mind your business.
And, we were attacked by the Japanese in Pearl Harbor, but it was something that we kind of lulled ourselves into.
Yeah.
With Same thing with North Korea,
we should have let them fucking take it. That's
with
it.
Pearl Harbor. One thing I was thinking about, the one thing that really drastically changed the fabric and structure of this country from the
two wars.
World War II, more than anything,
business.
The vast proliferation of women in the workforce. Because that if World War II didn't happen, it would have taken 2 or 3 generations
North Korea?
for that to happen.
Okay, you know what? Take it. That's it.
That's interesting.
If we fast forward to today,
Vietnam, take it. That's it. That's what we should have. Mind our business.
What I hope, myself as
there's too many people there for no shit.
Fiscal conservative Democrat.
That's right.
I believe me. I hear what everybody is saying. I mean, I used to be the type of guy back 10, 12 years ago where I could have conversations. And even more
You know what? Fuck you. You want to be a Stone Age? Fuck you. Afghanistan, you want to be a Stone Age? Fuck you. I would have left them in the Stone Age. That's it.
Those days are over for sure. Yeah, no, they are. Hey, Chris, you got to forgive me. I got to jump, but I mean, let's pick this up tomorrow morning.
Be a logical solution to run.
It's an interesting one. That's not the first time you mentioned his name, if I remember correctly.
Especially on their hemisphere, you know what they can have.
Hey, you never know. It would be interesting to see if
I
that's
understand
what
the
Democrats
outside
put
of the
up.
hemisphere,
1-800-848-9222.
but on their
We're
side,
gonna come back
you know
and
what?
close
Fuck
things
them. They can have them.
with the Mike, the Mark, and the Eddie. It is it is another side of midnight with me, VTJ McCormick. 4:51 here in New York City, 51 minutes past the hour. We'll be right back and close things out for a Saturday morning.
Booyah! There you go.
Another side of midnight.
There you go. Okay. About to close that show out right there. Like I said, bro, that's it, I'm telling you, coming soon, bro. 30-day live stream. I haven't set a date on it yet. I'm looking into March or maybe April. 30-day live stream. So, throw your ideas up here, what you want to see during the 30 days. I'm definitely gonna do some contacts, a lot of contacts, single sideband contacts, DMR contacts. I'm gonna do some radio tuning. We're gonna watch some, we're gonna listen to some radio shows. Also, we're definitely gonna practice on the QRZ website practice test for the general. So anybody studying for the general, you can study along with me. We're gonna do this shit live. We're gonna be doing Q&A, everything. Anything else you want to do, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up. Email DannyRadioandTech@gmail.com. We're gonna make this shit happen, bro. I want to see a 30-day live stream. Hopefully by April, we're gonna make this shit happen. So there you go. Coming soon, bro. 30-day live stream. And when I do that shit, I want people to share it, blow it up, post it everywhere you can post it. I don't care where you post it at, just post it. Even if they take it down a few minutes later, because, they just hate us. And, we're going to take this shit to another level. I swear to God. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
1,000%. Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts
you want to represent?
right now through your favorite podcast platform.
They're gonna make headlines.
It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
You want to be part of the headlines? We're gonna make it happen.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Pretty soon, 30-day live stream. Time to make history on this channel.
This is wrap it up music. Good morning, gang. Good morning. It's another side of midnight. Wrapping it up for a Saturday morning. Down the stretch we come. And let's get over to Mike in South Carolina on line 1. Mike, good morning.
Top of the morning, laddie.
Hey. Is it each?
Keep it each.
What's up, baby?
You know what? Nice show as usual. And I did hear from Pennsylvania. I wish him good luck on the karaoke. But TJ,
yes.
You mentioned Joey Heatherton before.
Yes.
Okay. Joey Heatherton lived in Rockville Center with his father. You don't remember? He was a merry mailman. And I'm in my father's supermarket. I'm like 13, and here comes Joey Heatherton, and she says hello. I'm like Jackie Gleason in the honeymoon.
Hamina. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Now I got to jump to this.
Okay.
A good friend of mine from down here, he's from Maryland. Okay. He drives a cab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Two daughters, one granddaughter. He's been divorced. Now he tells me the other day that he wasn't in the best of spirits. He shows me a picture. I got to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
He shows me a picture of his youngest daughter, Taylor, who was 28. She didn't have a job. She didn't have any direction. And long story short, they found her body at 28 years old, right outside of Baltimore. And I said, Greg, I don't have words for you. And Greg even invited her to stay with him down here in South Carolina. She did. She went to rehab, but she had no direction, unfortunately.
Wow.
And I said, Greg, please, just don't blame yourself. You did as much as you could.
Exactly.
You did as much as you could.
There is so little that we can do. There is so little that we could do. Mike. And I'll leave you with this. You were talking about, I can't stand him. Hakeem. With his eyes. Yep.
He communicates with his fingers and his hands.
Yeah.
And he's got an angry face.
Yep. And a dense brain. He's thick. Yeah.
Yeah. And the eyes, I've always said the eyes are the mirror to the soul. You know? So that's pretty much it.
That's it. All right, Mike. Thank you, Pally. We'll talk to you tomorrow, I'm sure. Thank you, buddy. Let's very quickly rip through. Let's get over to Mark in Edison. Real quick. Good morning, Mark. I want to make sure we say hi.
Oh, thanks. Hi, TJ.
Hey.
Can you that event with the mailbox when you had the Charlie Sheen show?
Yes.
That was really unbelievable. That was the greatest, and I just wanted to encourage you because I'm telling you, you got it, and if you could tell other stories, not stories, but events.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about it. Oh my God, it was the greatest. I mean, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was, and I know you got other ones, and I want to hear it.
All right. Definite.
I mean, pour it on whenever you get a chance.
You got it, dude. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Thank you very, very much, Mark and Edison. Thank you, dude. You're a good man. Thank you, Pally. Thank you. Here we go. We're ripping Eddie in Babylon. Oh, my God. Did I figured. I'm sorry if I hung up on somebody else. Eddie, good morning.
I'm here. Thank you, magnanimous TJ, for helping me close your show with your Robert Shaw comment, reminding me of me being in Coney Island when it was a small brewery with two people, and I said, we're going to need a bigger boat. They both looked at me with these steely blue eyes.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, my God. They said, we're Shaws. It was their uncle.
No.
And they said when he would call from California, he would not say, this is Robert. This is Robert. He would say, bigger boat.
Oh my God! You actually were in front of two Shaws.
Same eyes as Robert.
Unbelievable.
Come on, Hooper.
There you go. There you go.
I've got to say farewell and adieu.
Love you, PJ.
Love you too. Right back at you, Eddie. Farewell and adieu to you, fair Spanish maiden. Farewell and adieu to you, ladies of Spain. All right. We'll be back tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick. Stay well. I wish you all the luck in the world. God bless.
WABC New York, WRCR Haverstraw, and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. It's the 77 WABC News Hour, Weekend Edition. Talking the news with Lizzie Radabali. All the news you need to know. And now, here's Lizzie Radabali on 77 WABC.
Good morning. It is Liz Radabali here on the 5 o'clock News Hour Weekend Edition on this Saturday, January 31st. We made it through the first month of 2026. Before we get...
By the way, Lizzie Radabali is a cutie. Go look her up on Instagram. There you go. And bless her. Tell her that Danny Radio and Tech send you there. Danny Radio and Tech send you to Lizzie Radabali. There you go. Booyah!
Cyclone is supposed to miss us, but we could still get some.
Bless her. Go to bless her. Instagram.
And looking ahead to Monday.
Lizzie Radabali.
With a high of 32. That's much better if you're leaving right now. Over in Newark, New Jersey, 8 degrees and clear skies. Save Long Island, 5 degrees and clear. Up in Carmel, 0 degrees and clear skies right here in Manhattan. 11 and clear right outside our Midtown studios.
This is the Top 5 at 5.
The government is partially shut down this weekend. We have what you need to know. The latest in Minnesota as protests are still going over the immigration crackdown and this month's shootings of 2 protesters by federal agents. Cold weather is still lingering here in the tri-state, and there's been some deaths related as well. We have the latest in the Luigi Mangione case. There's been 2 headlines from this week. And finally, Hollywood remembers Catherine O'Hara. Starting off with the government shutdown. After the Senate passed a funding package bill last night, there is still that partial government shutdown in effect. So funding lapsed just after midnight this morning for a list of government agencies. That funding package passed by the Senate will now head to the House, but that's not back in session until Monday. The 71-29 vote came after President Trump and Senate Democrats struck a deal to separate the funding for the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE and Border Patrol. That will be separate through September. That's amid growing calls from the left to cut funding for ICE operations. Only 5 out of 53 Republicans voted against it after Trump publicly urged lawmakers this past week to approve the package. Democrats, meanwhile, were split, 24 out of 47 caucus members opposing that package. So as I mentioned, the shutdown not completely avoided since lawmakers in the House are all in their respective districts or wherever people in Congress go. House Speaker Mike Johnson says they will likely fast-track the bill through the floor. However, that requires support from 2/3 of the chamber, meaning a good chunk of Democrats have to come across the aisle. The DHS funding split is still a tough sell for both sides. Some conservatives may not be interested in voting for a deal that's been reached with Democrats. Meanwhile, some progressives might not like the stopgap funding for DHS. That would keep the funding levels for ICE and Border Patrol at current levels. The Office of Management and Budget has issued their guidance for agencies that saw that lapse in funding, which include furloughs and some letting go of some personnel. All right, the action in the Midwest Twin Cities still going. So we have the latest happenings coming from Minnesota and its capital city. First off, the DOJ is launching a civil rights investigation into Alex Preddy's case. Preddy was the ICU nurse who was shot and killed by 2 federal immigration agents. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says there's more than one investigation underway involving that shooting.
And the FBI, in their role, which is a separate role from DHS, is also looking into it and conducting an investigation.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche telling reporters the investigation should not be, quote, making news, saying that it's just another investigation running concurrent with the DHS's probe.
DHS, as the Secretary has said, is conducting an investigation, as they should and as they do every time there's a tragic event like this.
So the DHS said the FBI would lead the investigation into Preddy's shooting in Minneapolis with support from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division. His death came just weeks after Renee Good was shot by federal officers in the same city. The investigation was previously being led by the Homeland Security Investigations Branch of ICE. 2 agents involved in Preddy's shooting have been placed on administrative leave while that incident is under investigation. That's according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. In a preliminary report, the 2 officers who fired at Preddy say they saw that he allegedly brandished a gun. The deaths of Preddy and Good sparking fresh demonstrations in the state, prompting public outcry across the country. Also in relation to this story, didn't happen over there. Well, it did, then it got moved. So this actually happened over in L.A. Former CNN anchor Don Lemon arrested on federal civil rights violations. Lemon was among 4 people arrested in connection to an anti-ICE protest at a church in Minnesota. So you see, we go all over the map with this story. A Minnesota grand jury indicting 4 people on charges related to that interruption of a religious service at the church where an ICE officer serves as a pastor. Lemon was seen on live stream going into the church and interviewing the pastor and other protesters. Some argue that Lemon was contributing to the disruption. In a statement posted on social media, Lemon's attorney, Abe Lowell, called the arrest an unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration. A federal magistrate judge previously declined to approve Lemon's arrest, citing a lack of evidence. And the chief federal appeals court judge in Minnesota rejected a prosecutor's appeal of the decision, writing there was no evidence of any criminal behavior in their work. Lemon, who now appears on YouTube, Substack, and other social media platforms, left the mainstream media of CNN back in 2023 after 17 years at the network. Amid criticism, he made sexist comments about women and aging. So if you're not aware of that situation, if you don't recall, he said that Nikki Haley, who was running for president at the time, was past her prime. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I just have to point this out, had maybe one of the best responses to that scandal. He tweeted out to Don, "We know your heart was in the right place. I think you were referencing women being in their prime during their, quote, reproductive years. Women are always in their prime because, in my opinion, they get stronger, more courageous, and more beautiful as they get older." So that's the latest developments going on there. But if you missed a day in that never-ending news cycle from the Twin Cities, let's look back at everything that led up to this week, starting out with a move from Minnesota state officials to kick ICE out of the state. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison was seeking a restraining order as part of an effort to halt the ongoing federal immigration operations among the state that have seen those 2 deaths and widespread protests.
The federal government doesn't have any right to try to flood us, threaten us with retribution, and to coerce the state of Minnesota into complying with Trump policy.
Ellison says President Trump has made it clear he wants retribution against the state because of the unjustified flood of federal officers.
We didn't vote for him, so he was really salty about that. And it's unjustified and illegal, and we are praying for the relief that the state of Minnesota needs from the court.
Ellison maintains that he's standing up for Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and other Minnesotans affected by these ongoing operations.
Suffered racial profiling, unfair detention, together with every business person whose business has been shuttered because of this, on behalf of every student and every parent who can't get their kids to school because they are afraid of the federal government.
Judge Kate Menendez, an appointee of former President Biden, said at the end of Monday's hearing she's going to take time to do everything I can to get it right on whatever final decision she ends up making. So here's a quote from the bench. She said, "Not all crises have a fix from a district court judge injunction. There are other things that are supposed to rein in this kind of conduct. It must be that work is being done elsewhere to bring an end to what is being described here, not just counting on a single district court writing a single preliminary injunction." So no dice for the state AG as of yet in trying to go through the courts to remove the surge of ICE agents from Minneapolis. FBI Director Kash Patel also spoke later that night on Fox News about how things are going in the Twin Cities.
We are not going after people and infringing on their freedom of speech to peacefully protest. We are definitely not going after people on their Second Amendment right to bear arms. Only if you incite violence and or threaten to do harm to law enforcement officials and break the law in any other way does it become an investigatory matter.
Patel says that lines have to be drawn.
Just say, be careful and be reasonable, like you outlined. If you have a right to a permit for a firearm, that's okay. But you cannot incite violence, and you cannot break the law and attack federal law enforcement officers.
He said the Second Amendment is not the issue.
We truly, fully support the Second Amendment, people's right to bear arms. But when you enter into a situation, a volatile situation like Minnesota, where there were riots on the streets and people attacking federal law enforcement officers and ramming them with vehicles and continued criminality and burning down and literally destroying federal vehicles and stealing information, we have to ask people what's prudential.
Also happening, Greg Bovino, commander with the Border Patrol, was reassigned and removed from the Twin Cities this week. Bovino was the face of Operation Metro Surge, as it's known, but now the administration is calling in the big guns, Border Czar Tom Homan. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin on this shakeup.
Secretary Noem will continue to oversee, of course, the Department of Homeland Security, and she's very happy that Tom Homan, who is a great asset to the president, has a great depth of experience and insight, that he will be overseeing Minneapolis.
McLaughlin was also asked if DHS stands by the characterization of Alex Preddy as a domestic terrorist.
We'll let this investigation that Homeland Security investigators are leading, the FBI is supporting, and CBP is doing a separate internal investigation as well.
She said the Trump administration wants local officials to work with the federal government.
What the president, what Secretary Noem have been asking for is that level of cooperation before they release a criminal illegal alien onto the streets, to give us notification so that we can come and pick them up and they're not going back onto the street to re-perpetuate crimes against Americans.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the job in the Twin Cities is not finished.
We're going to continue to go after these criminals. We're going to remove them before they have the chance to murder more Americans, to create more angel moms, and to go out and harm our children and our grandchildren.
Border Czar Tom Homan, the new face of Operation Metro Surge, says they're not backing down from their mission to round up criminal illegal aliens in Minnesota.
The President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here. Got here Monday evening, and I'm staying till the problem's gone.
Homan said the large presence of federal agents in Minnesota is for security reasons.
Because of the hateful rhetoric and the attacks on ICE officers, now we've got to send a security team behind the arrest team. So what could have been done with one person in a safety and security jail, now we got 15, 16 people out there doing it. I know that causes stress in the community.
Homan says he does not want to see any bloodshed.
I don't want to see anybody die. Not officers, not members of the community, and not the targets of our operations. For the people out there that don't like what ICE is doing, if you want certain laws reformed, then take it up with Congress.
Holman said federal agents can start to be taken out of the city if the rhetoric is toned down and there's cooperation with local officials.
When the violence decreases, we can draw down those resources. But based on the discussions I've had with the governor and the AG, we can start drawing down those resources.
Speaking of a rhetoric, let's check in on what the Democrats in the state are saying in response to the ongoing operations and concurring anti-ICE protests happening in Minneapolis. Democrats Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith spoke on the Senate floor this week, outlining reforms they say must come before any vote to fund ICE.
I want to be clear, we are pro-public safety in Minnesota. We have worked often with federal authorities to catch bad guys and lock them up. But we need ICE out of Minnesota.
Senator Amy Klobuchar called for more changes in DHS leadership.
It is good that Bobino was removed. Other people have to be removed too. Kristi Noem shouldn't be in her job anymore. But mostly, we need these ICE agents out of Minnesota.
Klobuchar says Democrats will vote against DHS funding unless there are those reforms.
There must be new leadership in the Department of Homeland Security now. And there must be major reforms to these agencies before this Congress should approve another cent.
Then the following day, after Klobuchar spoke on the Senate floor, she announced that she is launching her bid to be the next governor.
These times call for leaders who can stand up and not be rubber stamps of this administration, but who are also willing to find common ground and fix things in our state.
Her announcement comes after current Governor Tim Walz announced he would be dropping his bid for a third term over criticism surrounding a statewide fraud scandal. It also, of course, comes as all this anti-ICE and ICE operations continue in the state. Now, shifting gears, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke with reporters about the ICE-involved shooting death of Alex Preddy. She's called it a tragedy, but also the direct result of Democrat leaders in the state encouraging left-wing agitators.
Governor Walz and Mayor Frey have shamefully blocked local and state police from cooperating with ICE, actively inhibiting efforts to arrest violent criminals. They have also used their platforms to encourage left-wing agitators to stalk, record, confront, and obstruct federal officers who are just trying to lawfully perform their duties. Former President Joe Biden and the Democrats opened America's borders for 4 years, inviting tens of millions of illegal aliens from all over the world to flood into our country.
President Trump says his border czar has been dispatched to Minneapolis.
Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of traveling. I think so. I like traveling to places. I love this place. This was the beginning of my politics, right?
That's right.
And it treated me well right from the beginning.
So to close, the president also has no plans to replace Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem.
I think she's doing a very good job.
77 WABC News Time is 5:17. Liz Radabali here. We're going over our top 5 headlines. Now moving on to story number 3. The cold, unfortunately, is not going anywhere. Neither are those mountains of snow and ice. Sorry to those still shoveling out their spots, or even worse, you do all that hard work shoveling it out. Yesterday I saw guys with pickaxes trying to hack away at some of that ice, but you do all that work, shovel it out, come back, and boom, someone took your spot. Well, the bomb cyclone that's hitting the Northeast is not expected to really affect the tri-state, thank goodness, but that cold, like I mentioned, is here to stay a bit longer. DSNY Acting Commissioner Javier Lohan says the agency is hauling and piling snow to 5 different locations around the city, including Lower Manhattan.
We plan on running this system for the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of snow out there. As you see, the big pile behind me there is about a football field's worth of snow, and there's plenty more of it to go. One of the unique things about this snowstorm was it brought frigid temps afterward, as we are today. Cold temperatures have made it very difficult for any of the snow to melt.
So there's a designated melting station with city-run hot tubs in each borough where that hot tub is set up over a sewer with enough capacity to handle the snow.
DEP has treatment systems all across the city where you get any kind of stormwater runoff or any kind of discharge. They treat the water and it goes into their system and they treat it, and that's where it ends up. So DEP has treatment systems all across the city where you get any kind of stormwater runoff or any kind of discharge. They treat the water and it goes into their system and they treat it, and that's where it ends up.
Oh, I don't know why that just played nice. New Yorker is not sure where all the snow goes.
No crossed my mind, though, but since you said it and whatnot, maybe it's something I should be thinking about. I don't know.
I don't know where this snow go. You see how much snow it is out here? I don't know where they go. I see some of the trucks back here picking it up, so maybe they're dumping it off somewhere else to help us out, but they better not dump it in the Hudson, because that's frozen now.
Yep, that is also frozen. Icebreakers were out trying to break up some of that ice on the water. Locals assessing the conditions on the streets.
My neighborhood's been shoveled pretty well. I just made it down here. It looks like I just had to walk into the cross street over there, but we'll manage. We'll survive.
I live in the outer borough, so they're going to take care of Manhattan first because this is where everybody comes to make their money, come to work.
Every day gets harder and harder to find parking. Sanitation needs to get on it.
It's just another day in New York City. I could be living in Chicago, which is minus 30 degrees.
I spent a couple years in Wisconsin, so it's not the worst thing. It's just really slippery outside, so. I just moved here, so this is terrible.
The cold weather advisory remains in effect as dangerous conditions linger through the weekend with overnight lows in the single digits and frigid daytime highs. There's also been 13 outdoor deaths since last Friday, according to the mayor's office. Mamdani was asked about those deaths at his news conference this past week, provided some details.
We are suspecting at this time that of the 10 deaths that we have spoken about, that about 7 had hypothermia playing a role. Of the 10 who had died, about 6 were known to the Department of Homeless Services.
Yeah, so that death toll has risen, as mentioned, to 13 now.
There have been no additional outdoor deaths since we last spoke. Since last night, we have made about 30 additional placements, but at least 10 New Yorkers have tragically lost their lives after being found outdoors. We don't yet know whether every case will be ruled hypothermia, but we need every New Yorker to be on alert, looking out for their neighbors.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani urging New Yorkers to check on neighbors and head to a warming center or warming bus if they need.
The cold is continuing, and so what we are asking New Yorkers to do is stay inside. When they see someone who is outside who needs assistance, do call 311. When the cold is this deadly, we need to meet the moment and leave no stone unturned. We are intensifying outreach, that we are conducting round-the-clock checks, and have loosened traditional shelter intake procedures to accommodate as many New Yorkers as possible.
Dr. Nancy Conroy, an emergency medicine expert at NYU Langone, says the life-threatening medical issues that arise happen quickly in the frigid cold, including hypothermia and frostbite.
It can take 30 minutes for frostbite to set in if the skin is exposed to weather that is at freezing.
Conroy says there's been an uptick in related cases to the weather.
What we are seeing is people coming in with issues and concerns related to the weather.
New Yorkers are rating Mayor Mamdani's first big weather event.
I rated like a 6 out of 10. Not that bad, but I feel like I've seen worse. It's been worse in the past.
There's supposed to be 24-hour sanitation trucks. Supposed to be salting the roads, cleaning the sidewalks, and they're not doing it. Doing it in the morning and late at night. And I think they just tried to save money.
One New York City resident saying it's important to bundle up in weather like this. A good final tip.
I've got 4 layers on top, 3 layers on bottom. I've got heated gloves.
So emergency management, like I mentioned, is tracking the bomb cyclone system heading to the East Coast. We could get some light snow, but the danger will once again really be the icy conditions and low temperatures. The death penalty is off the table for Luigi Mangione, the man accused of shooting the United Healthcare CEO in December of 2024, will not be facing execution if he is found guilty. Mangione is currently facing state and federal charges for the death of Brian Thompson. A Manhattan judge says the 2 federal stalking charges will remain, but the counts for murder and firearms are being dismissed. The judge also ruling the backpack seized during Mangione's arrest will be permitted as evidence in the trial, dealing a blow to the defense team who's trying to keep it out of proceedings. Mangione has pleaded not guilty in both cases. Also, in relation to this story, a man facing charges for trying to free Mangione, Minnesota native Mark Anderson, showed up to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Mangione is currently housed, and claimed he had an order signed by a judge to release the accused shooter. When questioned by guards, Anderson threw a stack of papers at them. Prison staffers then searched his bag and found a barbecue fork and a circular blade that looks to be a pizza cutter. He was arrested and charged with impersonating an FBI agent. Laura Jarrett reports the incident not expected to have a real big impact on Mangione's trial.
Jury selection now set to begin in September in his federal case, while prosecutors in Manhattan are pushing for the state trial to go first, as early as July.
NBC's legal analyst Misty Maris says Anderson's case is separate from Mangione's.
This criminal complaint of impersonating an FBI agent is not going to be part of Luigi Mangione's trial, but it's certainly something that both prosecutors and defense will take into consideration.
So as I mentioned, Mangione facing state and federal charges related to that shooting death in December 2024. And the federal, he is no longer facing the death penalty.
The dark times, John. Not that dark. Terrible feeling.
Know what?
That we didn't do something.
Kevin! But I must express myself. If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me!
She does all the work with Winky. Very popular back then. She had dozens of boyfriends.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds.
I did not know that.
Tributes pouring in for comedic icon of the screen Catherine O'Hara, the 2-time Emmy Award winner, was known for her roles in movies like Home Alone, Best in Show, Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, just to name a few, and shows like Schitt's Creek. That show actually gave her career a bit of a second act after coming on the scene 5 decades back when she co-created the Canadian sketch comedy series Second City Television with Eugene Levy. Her agency says she passed at her home in Los Angeles after a brief illness. Macaulay Culkin, who played her son in Home Alone, she also stayed close with him, said, "Mama, I thought we had time. I wanted more." Christopher Guest, her frequent collaborator on mockumentaries like Best in Show, says, "We have lost one of the comic giants of our age." Seth Rogen, who cast her in his hit Apple TV show The Studio, wrote on Instagram, "Getting to work with her was a true honor. She was hysterical, kind, intuitive, generous. She made me want to make our show good enough to be worthy of her presence in it. This is just devastating." O'Hara was born in Toronto, but she became a beloved figure in Los Angeles. She was actually named the honorary mayor of Brentwood in 2021. She is survived by her husband, production designer Bo Welch, and sons Matthew and Luke.
So scary, but Mitch was so strong and so smart and knew what he wanted, and I just focused on Mitch, and, I went along for the ride.
77 WABC News Time is 5:28. Now here's Monica Nelson with the latest in consumer and business news.
Agricultural Committee is advancing part of a key cryptocurrency bill without Democratic support. The measure, which Republicans and crypto-friendly Democrats have been negotiating for more than 6 months, aims to clearly divide oversight of crypto markets between 2 financial regulators. It advanced with a 12-11 vote along party lines Thursday, but the lack of bipartisan support underscores the likely bumpy road ahead for the legislation. Democrats have continued to voice concerns with how the legislation handles ethics and national security issues. Apple sales are surging because of a high demand for iPhones in China and Taiwan. The company reported first quarter earnings that surpassed expectations and said revenue rose a staggering 16% on an annual basis. CEO Tim Cook said iPhone demand was particularly strong in China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, where sales in the region surged 38%. Pepsi's having some fun with its rival in this year's Super Bowl commercial. Tammy Trujillo with the details. The soda company released its big game spot Thursday featuring Coca-Cola's famous polar bears. In the spot, directed by Oscar-winning filmmaker Taika Waititi, a polar bear takes a blind taste test and chooses Pepsi Zero Sugar over Coke Zero Sugar. The polar bear then goes on a journey of self-discovery set to Queen's I Want to Break Free. Fans can watch the ad online now before it airs on game day. And a new study of American travel trends finds an emerging focus on life milestones. Marie Dodds with AAA.
61% of Americans plan to travel this year, and more than 3/4 of those will plan their trips around things like weddings, anniversaries, and other celebrations.
The top trending destinations include the Czech Republic, Japan, and Bulgaria. More than 1,700 adults were surveyed by AAA and Bread Financial.
40% say that traveling to attend milestone events helps them reconnect with people they haven't seen in some time. 33% say these trips strengthen friendship and bonds. And Gen Z prioritizes traveling with friends more than baby boomers.
I'm Monica Nelson with your consumer and business news.
77 WABC News Time is 5:30. Liz Radabali here. We'll have more news when we get back on the 5 o'clock news hour weekend edition right here on 77 WABC.
Now, the latest from the 77 WABC Newsroom.
Owner and operator of 77 WABC Radio, John Catsimatidis is a big fan of President Trump's business experience.
Front page Wall Street Journal on Saturday, and I spoke to Trump about it. It was the front page, and I made a statement that Trump is not only a president of the United States, he was a businessman.
John, in the article, explained what Trump's doing.
With Ukraine, all the minerals that Ukraine has, he said, okay, I'm going to give you the money to do whatever you have to do, but I get the minerals. The United States of America gets the minerals. Venezuela, we get the oil. In other words, all the money we spent liberating Venezuela, we get oil in exchange. So what does it all mean? We don't do it for free. A businessman doesn't do it for free. Remember the old expression, what's in it for me?
John explained what's going on with the price of oil to Sid Rosenberg, host of Sid and Friends in the Morning.
By taking Venezuela and bringing in their oil, he balances out Canada because they have the same kind of oil Canada has, the heavy crude. And at one point, Venezuela was doing 3.5 million barrels a day. You know what they're doing now? 300,000.
That's a big difference.
The more they bring in, the price of oil comes down. What's happening by bringing down oil, you hurt the Russians. The Russians were producing 10 million barrels a day at $100 a barrel that Biden let them do. They were making $1 billion a day net money. And guess what? They used the money to invade Ukraine and to do all kinds of nasty stuff.
And you can hear more of John on Katz and Cosby weekdays at 5 p.m. and on the Katz Roundtable Sunday mornings 8 to 10. Lisa G, 77 WABC News.
This is 77 WABC Newsroom Extra.
The head of the NTSB says last year's mid-air plane crash near Washington's Reagan National Airport was 100% preventable. What we need to really talk about is a tower and tower personnel who were repeatedly saying, we have a safety problem here. Speaking to reporters at a day-long hearing on the crash, NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said systematic failures led to the collision between an American Airlines jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter. This was preventable. This was 100% preventable. She says the helicopter route the Black Hawk took was known to be unsafe. What that means is 75 feet, at best, separating a helicopter and civilian aircraft. 67 people were killed in the crash almost 1 year ago. Lisa G, 77 WABC News.
Now, the the latest from the 77 WABC newsroom.
On the Greg Kelly Show, Greg recounted a less than pleasant exchange he had with another man on the streets of Manhattan.
I got hassled today on the way to work. Oh, boy, I've been hassled before, but this guy, this little punk, I was happy to talk to him. I would have talked to him. I would have said, what's your problem? What is it you don't like? You don't like secure borders? Maybe you are intent on sexualizing children? What is it about me and MAGA you don't like? Oh, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're what's wrong with this country. I said, you got it wrong, pal. And then, like in middle school, he said, oh, a little middle schooler, a little guy from middle school. But I have a sneaking suspicion he hasn't been listening or watching. He may have been reading blogs or Twitter, right? Every moment of every day I'm getting lied about on those things. But that's fine. That's the price of doing business.
Greg says he's interacted in public with people who are familiar with his work. So why was this notable?
The only thing that was different about this, at first, for some reason, I thought I knew the guy. I thought he was like, there's a friend or something from college, and a lot of time had gone by. Nope, he was just a hater. He was just a guy who did not like America right now, thinking that I and MAGA are part of the problem. MAGA is beautiful. It's simple. It's not even, quite frankly, conservative. It's where a lot of people were, Democrats and Republicans alike, not too long ago. Let's have a border. Let's not get into stupid foreign wars and then lose them. Let's not sexualize children. Let us deport people who don't belong here. That's been going on since the country was established.
Listen to Greg Kelly every weekday from 12:15 to 3 p.m. James Flippin for 77 WABC News.
Music Radio 77 WABC presents Saturday Nights with Tony Orlando. Every Saturday at 10 p.m.
Hi, everybody. This is Tony Orlando. 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Tonight at 10 p.m. right after Cousin Brucey on Music Radio 77 WABC. It's the 77 WABC News Hour, Weekend Edition.
Talking the news with Lizzie Radabali.
All the news you need to know.
And now, here's Lizzie Radabali
on 77 WABC.
Good morning. Yes, it's Liz Radabali here, back on the 5 o'clock news hour weekend edition on this Saturday, January 31st. Before we get back into your news, your forecast from the 77 WABC weather desk. Today it's going to be a cold weather advisory in effect through tomorrow morning at 10. Today, a mostly sunny day with a high of only 20 degrees. Tonight and overnight, cloudy with a low of 11. Tomorrow, some clouds with a high of only 24. And then Monday, it's going to be sunny. Temperatures rise with a high of 32. If you're heading out the door right now, Newark, New Jersey, 8 degrees and clear. Save the Long Island, 5 and clear. Up in Carmel, currently 0 degrees and clear skies. It is 11 and clear right outside our Midtown studios. Now, starting off with some national headlines.
77 WABC News, reporting national news.
The Justice Department is releasing 3 million pages from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche gave the update, noting that millions more pages still remain in the hands of the DOJ.
Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
Blanche giving some details of those files that were released yesterday.
Some of the videos, though, and some of the images do appear to be taken by Mr. Epstein or by others around him.
Blanche said President Trump's stance on the Epstein files has not changed.
There's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents. And there's nothing I can do about that. But President Trump, of all the people in Washington, D.C. and around this country that have said for years the same consistent message about Jeffrey Epstein is President Trump.
Blanche said those files are not being released yet. They were not being released right away to protect the identities of victims and for other legal reasons. The Epstein investigation has become a pretty touchy subject in politics, with President Trump, former President Bill Clinton, and others being named as one-time friends or associates of the deceased sex trafficker. Some Democrats have maintained that the DOJ is withholding their files to protect Trump, an accusation the president has denied. The Congress passed a bill last year compelling the DOJ to release its files in full, the FBI and other federal records related to Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. And there's some non-football related questions for the co-owner of the New York Giants after his name appeared in yesterday's release of those files. Team co-owner Steve Tisch traded emails with Epstein in 2013. That's 5 years after Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting a teenager for sex. In their exchanges, Tisch and Epstein discussed a number of women. Tisch specifically asked if one was pro or civilian. Epstein asked him to call, saying he didn't like records of these conversations. Steve Tisch is the executive vice president and chairman of the board of the Giants, though he has had a reduced role in recent years. The team has not yet responded to questions. Tisch, meanwhile, saying that he only discussed adult women with the late sex trafficker. President Trump has signed an executive order to hold an IndyCar race on the streets of D.C. this summer.
I won't even say how many people, because I think it can set a record for racing. It's going to be very, very important. We're celebrating greatness with American motor racing. That's going to be the name of the event.
Trump announcing that new event.
It's going to take place on August 21st to the 23rd, and it's going to be so exciting.
It will be part of the America 250 celebration. It will be called America 250 Grand Prix. It will take place from August 21st to the 23rd, as you heard the president mention. President Trump says he's a major fan of IndyCar, and he can't wait to watch the race. In some economic news, Kevin Warsh is the president's new pick to be the chair of the Federal Reserve. Simon Marks reports.
President Trump has been hinting for days at the possibility that Kevin Warsh is his choice to replace Jerome Powell as the chairman of the Fed. Now he's confirmed it. Over his social media account, the president said he expects Mr. Warsh to go down as one of the great Fed chairmen, maybe the best.
Warsh served as Fed governor from 2006 to 2011 and has supported lower interest rates. Powell's term as chair ends in May. Warsh's nomination will still have to be approved by the Senate. More from the White House, President Trump warning Iran that a massive armada is heading its way. Correspondent Keir Simmons reports that Trump is telling the country if it does not make a nuclear deal, the next attack will be far worse than last year's Operation Midnight Hammer,
which he describes as a major destruction of Iran. He says the next attack will be far worse. Now, Midnight Hammer came after Israel's 12-day war with Iran and involved 14 bunker-busting bombs and Tomahawk missiles.
Simmons reports Arab leaders in the region do not appear to be on board with that idea.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, making a phone call to the Iranian President, Masoud Pezeshkian, and a Saudi readout of that call saying that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will not allow its airspace or territory to be used for any military actions against Iran.
Simmons reports Trump is warning Iran that the United States sending that massive armada.
The concern is that Iran could use its 3,000 ballistic missiles and turn those against perhaps not just Israel, but Arab allies of the US, where US bases are stationed in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Bahrain. He is still open to negotiation, suggesting that if Iran was prepared to give up its nuclear weapons program, then he would be prepared to make a deal. Iran has never said it would be prepared to do that.
In a Truth Social post, Trump said the Armada is moving quickly and is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. The president said he hopes Iran will come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable nuclear agreement. The president says his Trump account savings initiative is giving kids a fair shot at the American dream. Speaking this week at a summit in D.C. for the program, Trump said over the years, the program will transfer $3 to $4 trillion of wealth into the hands of America's children.
Every president in modern history has left our children with nothing but debt. But under this administration, we're going to leave every child with real assets and a shot at financial freedom.
Trump saying his accounts will give children a head start financially.
We'll ensure that Americans don't just end their lives with a nest egg, but instead all Americans will begin their lives with a beautiful nest egg.
The president thanking Michael and Susan Dell, the billionaires, for donating more than $6 billion for the so-called Trump accounts.
Michael and Susan made this donation in recognition of America's 250th anniversary because there's no better way to honor America's history than to invest in America's future. That's what they did.
Under the program, every American child born during his second term will receive a $1,000 tax-free government deposit to jumpstart their account. Trump said even the people who hate him are taking advantage of this program. More from Capitol Hill, more from the Oval Office, really, actually. President Trump says he's had an amazing year after holding his first cabinet meeting at the White House in 2026. Before hearing from his cabinet officials, Trump went through a list of notable events during his first year back in office.
Tremendous progress has been made. I want to thank my entire cabinet for 12 months of unprecedented achievements. We really have, unprecedented. The numbers we've had on the economy and growth, you see them.
Trump touting his tariff plan.
We've been given great national security because of tariffs, and we've also been given unprecedented income because of tariffs. The GDP growth in the fourth quarter was great, and it's going to be, I think we're going to have an amazing and incredible year. Hopefully we won't have a shutdown. And we're working on that right now. I think we're getting close. The Democrats, I don't believe, want to see it either.
We know now that a partial shutdown did, in fact, happen. President Trump, though, also saying the airspace above Venezuela will soon be open following the capture of former leader Nicolas Maduro earlier in this month. The president also believes another government shutdown will be avoided. However, that did not happen. There is a partial government shutdown in effect this weekend as the House is set to vote on the Senate's funding bill on Monday. It is the 10th cabinet meeting of Trump's second term. A former Canadian Olympic snowboarder accused of murder and narcotics crimes is pleading not guilty. Ryan Wedding appeared in Southern California federal courthouse this past week, and his attorney spoke with reporters shortly after.
Given the nature of this case, given what I anticipate to be voluminous evidence, I doubt that we are going to be going to trial in March.
Anthony Colombo, who represents Ryan Wedding, was asked what he thought of the FBI comparing his client to former drug lords El Chapo and Pablo Escobar.
I think it's overstated. That's their spin.
Wedding was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list for allegedly trafficking cocaine and ordering a murder. The FBI says he was taken into custody this past week, 2 weeks ago in Mexico City. He was allegedly hiding out under the protection of the Sinaloa drug cartel. The 44-year-old represented Canada as a snowboarder in the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. A man is in custody after spraying a substance on U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar during a Minneapolis town hall.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Representative Omar insisting on resuming her speech after being sprayed with that substance.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you.
Omar saying to the audience she won't back down.
Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us.
Anthony Kazar-Mizak faces a count for allegedly forcibly assaulting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with the Congresswoman while she was engaged in official duties. In a separate case, federal prosecutors in Kansas charged a man there with making a death threat against Omar on Facebook. A coalition of conservative organizations have launched a campaign to overturn the Supreme Court's Obergefell ruling, which legalized gay marriage.
We believe that kids deserve the unique and irreplaceable gift of both having the mother and having the father.
Jonathan Covey with the group Texas Values says that kids thrive when they're raised by one mother and one father.
The studies show that kids are more well prepared for life.
Covey says the landmark 2015 ruling departed from the court's own historical test.
The court would typically ask whether a claimed right was deeply rooted in the nation's history and tradition.
Once again, Jonathan Covey is with the group Texas Values, part of the push. He called the 2015 ruling an illegitimate power grab because it took authority away from the states. In addition to court challenges, the 47 groups are working to mobilize Christian churches to take up that cause. 77 WABC News Time is 5:50. Now here's Trey Bender with the Sports Minute.
NFL news, Patriots quarterback Drake May missed practice on Friday due to an illness leading up to Super Bowl 60. Meanwhile, the Seahawks reportedly will go up for sale after the big game. Vikings fire general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah after 4 seasons. Baseball news, the A's and all-star shortstop Jacob Wilson agree to a 7-year extension worth $70 million. College basketball, number 2 Michigan holds off number 8 Michigan State 83-71. Yaxel Lendeborg with 26 points and 13 boards. Luka Doncic a triple-double before halftime as the Lakers rout the Wizards. Magic over the Raptors by 10. Desmond Bane with 32. Celtics beat the Kings. Peyton Pritchard with 29. The Knicks rout the Blazers 127-97. Jalen Brunson with 26. Dylan Brooks 27, leading the Suns past the Cavs. The Nuggets beat the Clips, the Joker with 31, and the Pistons over the Warriors by 7. Cade Cunningham 29 points and 11 assists, Detroit's 35th win. That's sports. I'm Trey Bender.
And Brooklyn last night also defeated Utah Jazz 109-99. And on the ice, let's take a look. Today, Rangers are in action against Pittsburgh at 3:30. The Devils are going to be playing Ottawa at 7 o'clock. And the Isles, they're going to be hosting Nashville also at 7 o'clock. 77 WABC News Time, 5:51.
77 WABC News. Local news is our specialty.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul is rolling out a new bill doubling down on the state's sanctuary policies. The governor says the measure, dubbed Local Cops, Local Crimes, will prohibit ICE from using local police to enforce civil immigration law and from using local jails for resources.
We see what happens when the lines get blurred. And law enforcement will tell you that the mistrust that is now created by this agency out of control affects their ability to do their jobs.
Hochul saying that ICE is just out of control.
They do their job, although I don't like the way they're doing their job, but don't expect our local law enforcement to team up with them because we have other responsibilities for our local law enforcement.
Hochul is calling on U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to immediately resign.
Do the right thing. Go home. No longer serving that important role.
NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the legislation does not interfere with the NYPD's federal cooperation policy regarding other aspects of public safety.
When federal immigration operations come into a city and generate fear, anger, unrest, local police do not get to walk away from the consequences. They are the ones who stay.
Here's Albany Police Commissioner Brendan Cox.
Let me be clear, this isn't about refusing to cooperate on criminal matters. We will continue to do that. It's about that nexus to public safety.
Hochul says local cops should be focused on crimes in the community, adding that once approved, the law would have to be followed by all 62 counties across the state. Hochul has made it clear that local law enforcement will work with federal agents to apprehend dangerous criminals. It comes as chaos breaks out on the streets of Minneapolis, where 2 people have been killed by federal agents. 3 delivery app companies will fork over more than $5 million in penalties and restitution to their workers for violating New York City's minimum wage law under a settlement. Mayor Zoran Mamdani accusing Uber, Fantwan, and Hungry Panda of failing to pay roughly 50,000 delivery workers in the city.
When deliveries or trips were canceled, they did not pay workers for time they had already worked, even though the law says that they must.
Councilmember Harvey Epstein is the chair of the Consumer Worker Protection Committee. He says big companies are not treating delivery workers too well.
This is a disgrace that these billionaires, these big companies, steal their wages and take their tips and struggle and take their funds.
Uber also being ordered to reinstate workers who the city says were wrongly deactivated from that app. With a good portion of the United States experiencing some extreme cold, one health expert raising awareness of the dangers of frostbite. Dr. Thomas Waters is an emergency medicine physician at the Cleveland Clinic, says that frostbite, an injury to the skin and tissues that could starts with them freezing and dying.
Extreme temperatures and longer exposure times can predispose you to frostbite. What happens is that you have tissue that actually starts to freeze and then die because of it.
Water giving some advice to avoid that situation.
If you start to exhibit signs and symptoms of hypothermia, which initially can be shivering, slowed movement, clumsiness, but left to progress turns into altered mental status and things, you want to warm that person up as quickly as possible and then get them to the hospital.
Waters says early signs of frostbite is the skin feeling cold and tingly, and then that turns to numbness. He says if you have minor frostbite, treat it at home by running warm water on the impacted area, but make sure it's not hot water. Skiing superstar Lindsey Vohn's Olympic future may be in jeopardy after she was hurt in her final race before the Games. Correspondent Molly Hunter says the accident happened during World Cup race in Switzerland.
She's coming off a jump and she loses control. Then she gets tangled up in those safety nets. After getting out of there, she was able to ski to the bottom of the hill, but she was then seen limping. It actually looks like she's keeping weight off her left knee.
Hunter reports that Vohn crashed during that World Cup race.
The conditions were really difficult in Switzerland this morning. She was the 6th racer down the hill, but actually the 3rd to crash in today's race before it was postponed. Of course, Vohn is 41 years old, a major American star. Now, we do know that she was airlifted from the site. We do not know what her current condition is. The U.S. ski team says she is under evaluation. This was a hard one to watch this morning. Lindsey Vonn crashing this morning on her final downhill race. It was meant to be the final downhill race before the Olympics get underway next week. Of course, her 5th and final Olympics.
41-year-old made it to the medical tent before being airlifted away. As mentioned, Vonn's first Olympic race is scheduled for February 8th. Now here's Matt Mattinson with the latest news in technology.
2 companies led by Elon Musk may be merging, Rory O'Neill reports.
According to Reuters, SpaceX could merge with xAI before going public later this year. The report says the merger would bring SpaceX rockets, Starlink satellites, the Grok chatbot, and the X social media platform under one roof. Bloomberg says SpaceX is also considering a merger with Musk's electric car company, Tesla. The combined companies would be valued at well over $1 trillion.
Apple says the iPhone just had its best quarter ever. During yesterday's earnings call, CEO Tim Cook said they sold $85 billion worth of iPhones in the first quarter. That was helped by strong sales in China and India. And a new report says Amazon is considering investing $50 billion in OpenAI. The Wall Street Journal says OpenAI is looking to raise a total of $100 billion. It could be a delicate discussion because Amazon is heavily invested in Anthropic. Tech Report. I'm Matt Mattinson.
Former football star Antonio Brown made a brief appearance in a Miami-Dade court via Zoom this past week on a second-degree attempted murder charge. His attorney is looking for the state to turn over some DNA evidence.
It was the holster left on the scene that we have submitted proof belonged to my client. That was his own holster from his own weapon, for which he has a concealed weapons permit.
The attorney for former football star Brown believes that DNA could help clear his client of that second-degree attempted murder charge.
If the test goes the way that we expect, we believe that that's going to undermine a significant allegation the state made.
The judge is giving the state 5 days to respond. Brown says he was standing his ground when he fired his gun back outside of a Miami boxing match. Fans are spending thousands on tickets and travel for Super Bowl 60 next weekend, and scammers also rushing to cash in. Better Business Bureau spokesman Steve McFarland says one of the biggest mistakes fans can make is trusting sellers they find on social media or on classified sites.
Don't click on a link on Craigslist or on social media. Don't even waste your time doing something like that. The chances are they're going to be scammers. Check out the broker. You can look them up on bbb.org.
Alma Galvin with the Better Business Bureau Bay Area says fans should book hotels directly with the property to avoid any fake reservations during Super Bowl week.
In the past, what we've seen is fake websites, fake reservation numbers. Pretty much you think you're purchasing a room from a hotel, and when you get to the hotel, your reservation number is totally false.
The BBB is being urged to urging football fans to slow down and avoid any deals that sound too good to be true. They say never pay with gift cards, cash, or wire transfers, and double-check website spellings and security. Also, be aware that AI can now create fake tickets that look pretty real. And to close on a good note, experts say that doing chores is beneficial for your health. Cardiologist Grant Reed with the Cleveland Clinic says vacuuming, mopping, carrying laundry, all examples of chores that are good for your body. However, he says unless you're getting your heart rate up, chores do not replace regular exercise. The American Heart Association recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every single week. That includes running, biking, swimming, and of course strength training. 77 WABC News Time is 6:01. That's your news for this Saturday, January 31st. I'm Liz Redabali. Best of Sid and Friends in the Morning coming up next right here on 77 WABC.
The 77 WABC Garage Clothing Chime Time is 5:59. If you want to dress like Sid Rosenberg, go to Garage Clothing at 1909 Stillwell Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. Better men's suits, sportswear, and shoes. It's Garage Clothing in Brooklyn, New York. WABC New York, WRCR Haverstraw, and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. There are two positions available to assess physical performance requirements as an exercise physiologist to help recovery or rehabilitation exercise programs. Interpret exercise programs to evaluate progress. Focus on reconditioning and physical education. Explain the effects of injury to participants, emphasizing the physical and psychological benefits of exercise. And develop exercise programs to improve participants' strength, flexibility, or circulatory functioning. You must possess a bachelor's degree in physical therapy, physiotherapy, or health-related. Salary is $58,594. To apply for this position with Ameristar Staffing, Inc., submit resume or CV via email to ameristarsstaffing@gmail.com, located in Richmond Hill, New York. There are two positions available as an exercise physiologist. To apply for these positions, submit resume or CV via email to ameristarsstaffing@gmail.com, located in Richmond Hill, New York. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. Weekend Review.
Justin Ellick, your executive producer for the Sid and Friends in the Morning radio program, and here is your best of Sid and Friends in the Morning. Kicking things off, as always, it was Red Apple media owner and operator John Catsimatidis calling in for his weekly Monday morning appearance to discuss the weekend that was for him down in Florida, escaping Winter Storm Fern, before he delves into all the top headlines in the news today and Sid's big 10th anniversary week-long celebration here at WABC Radio.
8:40 Monday morning. Lisa G is in. She said that I guess the snowplows plowed off the snow into the bus stops. Lisa takes the bus over here. So they had to wait for the buses in the street. That doesn't sound ideal. Look, it's a bad storm. Bottom line, we got a lot of snow, almost a foot here in New York City, 11 plus in Central Park. Just saw Joe Parisi, Mr. Gristides. He's in from Jersey this morning. He got 2 feet of snow. Rockland County, 17. And again, the worst is yet to come because even though there's no more precipitation, the weather will remain freezing, bitter, frigid, cold for 8 days. That's got to be the longest gnome in a long time. Usually after a snowstorm, you get some relatively balmy 40-plus degree weather, so the stuff melts. That's not going to happen here.
No, even next Monday, it's only going to be 30 degrees.
Yeah. So we got a couple of rough days ahead of us. And a lot of my friends, like I said, they call it stuck. Are you kidding me? Stuck? My friend Gabe Boxer, stuck in Panama. My friend Abraham Hamra, stuck in Miami. Our friend Suzanne Miller, stuck in Florida. That's not stuck. That's lucky. That's lucky. We're stuck here. Trust me, it's brutal. But John Catsimatidis, Mr. Red Apple Media himself, our boss, we love John. He's on his way back from St. Petersburg. And I'm not sure, but every year they put on a big party. It's inspired by Margot's mom. And there in St. Petersburg, I'm not sure if that was this weekend. Let's find out. Here he is, the boss, John Catsimatidis. John, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'll tell you, Florida, St. Petersburg was great this weekend. We celebrated 80 families have moved in the last 4 weeks on our high-rise here, 400 Central. You know, the building is beautiful. And Margot had a big gala on Saturday night, and they had almost 400 people.
Wow.
And I tell you, those Russians know how to dance and they know how to drink.
They do. And correct me if I'm wrong, John, but that gala that you guys put on every year for Margot, that honors her mom, right?
That honors her mom. Her mom started this about 30 years ago. Her mom passed away about 10 years ago, and Margot kept on the tradition, and that was the important thing. That way her mom is never forgotten. The other thing we're doing in front of the new building, we're putting up a statue of her mom and dad. And we had to inspect the statues and inspect where they're going to go. That building, Sid, is going to make a big difference in St. Petersburg. It's an iconic building that will shift St. Petersburg to the next step. It's the tallest tower on the west coast of Florida. It's beautiful views, and around it, restaurants have begun to open up. Great restaurants all over the place in St. Pete, and also 7 or 8 museums already.
Wow!
And you know, it's become like the Southampton of Tampa, and you know, it's people that want to live better than they do in Tampa. They go to St. Petersburg now.
Wow, sounds gorgeous. I love these statues of Margot's mom and dad. And I know that area. You know, look, I lived on the East Coast most of my life down there, 16 years, and the East Coast of South Florida. But I've been to Tampa many times, sporting events, that whole area, Tampa, Clearwater, also beautiful in St. Pete. That building sounds amazing. So can you still... I know I ask you this all the time. These you buy these are rentals. Can people still get them?
These are condos, and we're like 83% sold out. And we also met with the architects because there's a second tower going up, and we're starting as soon as possible.
Oh, wow. Good for you, because I know, for example, because you were kind of let me stay in Coney Island once or twice when I had to get to work, Ocean Drive, You got those beautiful buildings. I know you have room for 2 or 3
Well,
more.
we got an apartment for you to stay at when you're there, when you're in St. Petersburg.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see the building. I really can't wait, especially on a weekend like this. We're back here. We just got about a foot of snow. How was the weather down in St. Pete?
It was beautiful weather. I relaxed a little bit yesterday when the pilot said we're going back Monday morning instead of Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And we sat and we had breakfast in the Palm Court there, and we paid the breakfast bill and we ordered lunch.
I love it. I love it.
From breakfast to lunch, to sitting on the beach.
How do you beat that?
Then the biggest problem we had is where we're going to have dinner.
Right, that's always a big problem. That is a discussion in Florida for like hours, John. You know, we discuss the economy, Minnesota, Iran, Trump. They discuss dinner. Trust me, I lived there for 16 years. But tell me about the economy down there. I had Rick Scott on the show last week, and it seems to be doing very, very well. The issue becomes with Florida is the insurance. That's a big problem for DeSantis, and people are trying to buy homes down there. But otherwise, it seems like the economy, specifically in South Florida, East and West Coast, both doing very well.
Well, the economy is doing great. People are coming down here like no tomorrow. You know, how did Jimmy Petronas used to say, come on down? We're building, we can't build fast enough. Florida is up to 23,900,000 people.
Wow.
New York State, New York City, New York State is down to 19 million. And it used to be the other way around.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, the economy here, I'm curious to find this out.
The people are nice.
Yeah.
The food is great.
Yeah.
The weather is great. And, St. Petersburg especially has 361 days out of 365 that are sunny days. And it's something about that St. Petersburg, Tampa area where they used to say that the gods underneath that area, because only 2 hurricanes in the last 100 years hit St. Petersburg. Yeah, they either, when they go up there after Sarasota, they either zig left and go to New Orleans or zig right and go to Fort Lauderdale.
Interesting. I didn't even know that. So, yes, they're protected by God. They've got divine intervention.
Indian gods are protecting St. Petersburg.
John Katsimatidis on his way back to New York from St. Petersburg. Talking about the economy, I want to talk about your stores here in New York. I got to imagine that D'Agostino's and Gristides, my favorite store, Gristides, all your stores, I mean, were you basically out of everything by Saturday?
Well, there's nothing left on the shelves. Everything, on Friday and Saturday, and they even came shopping on Sunday.
Wow.
That everything was wiped off the shelves. We stayed open to serve the customers like Gristides and D'Agostino always does. We stayed open to make sure that everybody got what they needed.
Beautiful. John Katsimatidis. And, I know you told me this morning gold is 500, silver's up to 100, and I just had
5,000.
5,000, excuse me, 500, 5,000. So I had this discussion with my buddy Shane Cederman. He actually sells gold. He's in Bay Ridge. But I had a discussion with John McLaughlin this morning. He's the great pollster. He's talking about the midterms. People are getting really nervous about November, especially with what's going on in Minnesota. So I asked John a question. I'm going to ask you the same exact question, John Katsimatidis. In your opinion, what's happening in Minnesota, which has become a complete mess, does that help Republicans or Democrats?
It's stirring up the pot. It helps Democrats right now, which is not good. Because at the end of the day, what the Democrats want, and I was a Democrat at one point. Remember, I was a Bill Clinton Democrat.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is they're stirring the pot to all the money that got stolen out of Minnesota, all the money that gets stolen out. Remember, Elon Musk, $700 million is missing. $1 billion. That's what he says. Trump said $350 billion. So it's somewhere between $350 and $700 billion. Get it off the front page. How do you get it off the front page? You create riots. And that's what they're doing. and they're trying to get all that money is missing. They want the Democrats have to get elected, not because otherwise a lot of them are going to go to jail that stole that money.
Sid and Friends in the Morning. Weekend Review.
Enjoying a healthy dinner that tastes great means eating out at a pricey restaurant, right? Wrong. Healthy Choice Simply Steamers are delicious and healthy. The Tray and Tray steam technology delivers crisp veggies and tender protein in tasty selections, like Healthy Choice Simply Steamers grilled chicken and broccoli Alfredo. It's a satisfying meal with 28 grams of protein and nothing artificial. Healthy Choice Simply Steamers. What having it all tastes like.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast! Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. Weekend Review.
Up next, President Donald J. Trump headlined a Tuesday morning program celebrating 10 years of Sid Rosenberg at WABC Radio.
So, I used to call this guy the best president in my lifetime. Then I said, he's the best president ever. Now I'm going to amend that too and say, he's the most influential and consequential person above and beyond the presidency in the history of this country. And let me say this. Last month, December, I was sworn into the Holocaust Memorial Council by Ted Cruz because this man appointed me. And then on the third night of Hanukkah, on the stage, East Wing at the White House, he called me up to be with him on that glorious night. I love this man, sincerely and literally love him. The greatest president ever, Donald J. Trump. Good morning, Mr. President.
Well, you can't give me a better introduction than that. I would say that's not so bad, huh? No, that's great. Well, we have good news. You know, we got the last, as you know, the hostages back, and we got the last of the dead back. Sad. And those parents they wanted the body of their son back more, just like almost more than anything I've ever seen before. It's amazing. You know, we got the 20 back. We got many before that, hundreds before that. But that last 20 we said are going to be rough, and we got them back, and now we got all of the dead back. Remember, everyone said that would be impossible. We just got the last one back today, so I know you're happy about that.
I'm so happy, and I have to tell you, I speak to so many prominent Jewish figures. As you know, President Trump, Yehuda Kaplan, one of your guys, so many others around the country, and they were celebrating you all day because, let's be honest, okay? If Biden was the president, or if Harris, God forbid, she would have won, those people would still be in those tunnels getting raped, getting murdered. It would be awful. I don't know how you did it. I got to be honest, President Trump. But from all the Jewish people and Christians around the world, thank you so much.
Well, actually, Sid, I think really you wouldn't have Israel right now if that were the case, because there wouldn't have been that whole situation that we did Midnight Hammer where we knocked out the nuclear power. They would have used that if they had it. And I don't think you'd have Israel. I really don't think so. The attack wouldn't have taken place, wouldn't have been allowed to have taken place. They instead would have been attacked. Think of it. Somebody was saying it today. I never gave it that kind of thought because we like to think a little more positively. But they were saying today, you wouldn't have Israel. I don't think Israel would be around. During that 60-day negotiation, so much took place in terms of readiness and getting it done. You know, the famous 60-day negotiation.
Yes.
And so I don't think you would have had, I really don't think you would have had Israel around, if you want to know that.
I
agree with you. Dangerous time.
I agree, and I think Bibi agrees. And, you know, just a couple of days ago, President Trump, I know you know this, but they shut the airspace in Israel. I've got all these friends. They live in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, all over the country, you know. And they text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, we've just shut the airspace. I said, what the hell's going on, you know? But, of course, Iran keeps threatening us. They keep threatening you. So Israel kind of replies in turn. But I think the Israelis, I'll speak for them, okay? I think they're very, very confident with you at the helm, that this Iran thing will eventually get fixed and go America's way, Israel's way, and quite frankly, President Trump, the world's way?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of support. We have a big armada going over there right now, and hopefully we won't have to use it, but it's very powerful and bigger than what we have in Venezuela that we sent over. That worked out so well, and the leadership there is doing a very good job coordinating with us and everything else. But we have a big armada going over there, and we'll see. Hopefully we won't have to use it.
You know, you mentioned the Armada, you mentioned Iran, and I got to go to the mayor here because people in New York love you. You know, I walk past the Trump Tower every day. There's not a conversation, President Trump, I don't have with you or your daughter-in-law. She's coming on today, or your son, Eric. I don't bring up New York. I know you still love New York. And you had a meeting with the mayor in your office a couple of months ago. And you guys got along really, really well. And that was, I'll be honest, because I love you, odd for me because I spend a lot of time, I'm being honest, bad-mouthing the mayor. And I got to say this. The last couple of weeks, you know, he's so nice to you. Hochul does the same thing. She's so nice to you, then she kills you. You know, Walls today, I'm sure, was very, very nice to you, then he kills you. Mamdani was angry about the Maduro capture, as great as that was. He called your administration evil after Good was murdered, Mr. President. He actually came out and said he wants to abolish ICE on The View and in a tweet yesterday. So I want to give the guy a chance, because you are, but when people badmouth Trump, I get very upset. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's politics. I see it with so many. They'll be so nice to me. You don't know how nice they are. I mean, at a level that you have rarely heard. And then you'll see them 3 days later on a show or something, and they'll be knocking the hell out of you. And it's just, it's politics. And you know what? I do the same to them. I'm nice to them, and then I'm not so nice maybe when I'm talking about them as a politician, so, which I hate to call myself, but I guess ultimately I'm a politician, right? But, you know, it's politics. It's a nasty world. It's a nasty profession, if you want to know the truth. It really is. But I got along very well with him. We had some good meetings, some good talks, and he's the way he is. I guess you're not going to change. You know, you grow up a certain way, and you sort of tend to be the certain way. But they got to do a good job for New York. What I want to see is I want to see New York be successful, and if he could help make it successful, make it much more successful, because now it's heading in the wrong direction. You saw where I said the New York Stock Exchange having a major stock exchange built in Dallas is not a good thing. Okay, that's a real bad thing. And it's by the owners of the New York Stock Exchange. They're the ones doing it. And I would have talked to them, tried to get them to not do that if I were the mayor of New York. That's a big deal. That's not a positive thing for New York.
So is it fair to say then, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, you're the president, the greatest president ever, but the jury's still out. You say nice things, but if New York doesn't get better, if there's an issue with the Jewish people, you mentioned the stock exchange, is it fair to say the jury is still out when it comes to Trump and the mayor?
All right. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Yep. Bye-bye.